quickly need to make a quick post on Twitter. Hmm? Oh, I haven't noticed. I just logged into Twitter for the first time like yesterday for a bit in a while, so I just haven't had a chance to look through everything. Okay, there we go. Announcement made. Let's vibe. So, it is around a few. It is now a few days after the whole incident with with both HUS and the people with HUS and Union forces basically just doing what they can to help with the aftermath of Vector's vibe check beam. You can't tell me that's exactly what that was. He checked all of the Ravagers' vibes and they were not vibing. Yes, exactly. They failed the vibe check. Is basically what happened. So yeah, perfect. It's complete. It's a complete accident that happened, but it did. All right, so you guys are helping out with the efforts as Eden is consulting Vector about something. Studying the data, it worked remarkably well. Like it worked remarkably well. You noted a few different compartments where you're like, yeah, this really could have operated a lot better if I did this. Yeah, and you, Vector's Blackwatch rifle really did a hell on the fucking barrels. The, like legitimately, towards the last few firings, they were legitimately starting to come apart. Don't plug in rat. You're legitimately looking over the combat data, going like, "What the fuck kind of weapon is this?" Most likely, mech hanger bait may be a thing on the surface. Either way, yeah, and even Eden, after giving basically as much information as Vecna is willing to give about that weapon, it's legitimately a situation of Vector says he's gonna clean it up, but at least do what you can for the meantime. I need to talk to him about a few things. You know, mother son stuff. Before sending everyone away and locking the door. But yes, so so the Rem do what they can to help. It's very difficult, and there is actually a bit of a whole ritual when the people of Stone at in the middle of the classing. Basically, kind of a ritual of probably a bit of forgiveness and praying for the unborn souls that were probably beneath the soil. Yes, they are literally born in the planet unknowingly. Victor committed mass murder. Water is wet. Oh God. Also, Haran, you're going to love what I had by commission from Slaya. A little bit, yeah. All right. Can you give me a few different roles for that? Just general roles, just to see how well you do. Yep. One accuracy. Mostly because the REM systems are not really sure how to basically the systems are just like there's so much weird stuff in the way. It's a mixture of it being glass and exotic matter is the best way to describe it. It's literally just a whole thing of these systems going, huh, fucky wucky shit has happened. Give me two more. All right. Yeah. Oh God. So at first it's just like and eventually they're able to figure out how exactly to pinpoint where the people's stone are like basically just kind of like curled up in like the stone are able to pull out at least a few hundred, though it is basically explained that from Vix that they're going to basically need to be transplanted because they're not done growing. Yeah, Vix just basically explains we're just going to need to just basically we're going to need to put them back in the ground so that they can finish growing. the, our life cycle is a very weird, apparently, according to like every human and organic we've ever talked to. I mean, I mean, Vix is very confused, like bug people. Oh, oh no! It's not like that. Our life cycle begins in the Earth, no matter what. We don't we don't come out and then go back into the dirt. No. Vix is kind of like just kind of like after a bit she leaves for a moment, comes back after like 10, 20 minutes with a Galvaton crystal. It's like this should help clear things up. Heads into Lyrel. uh inside the crystal is basically like a presentation. It's kind of like, like one of those YouTube videos where the person is like they have like an egg that they've cut open and left intact at the same time. Yeah, it's kind of like one of those videos, except it's one of the people of stone, and it starts out with like a small like piece of crystal the size of like your fist, with it slowly growing and growing and growing, and stone forming around it over time. And it's just like year one, as it starts to resemble a kind of humanoid stone being, then moves on to year two, where the stone is very much forming uh over the uh over the crystal, and like different formations are happening. It's just kind of like there's like different slides of like different homeworlds that, yeah, it's just basically an entire presentation like explaining that this is how they primarily are created. It's just literally a piece of crystals infused with veil energy at random. They don't understand how the fuck that works. They're very confused about the veil, but they know it exists. And basically explain that over time they just grow and grow and grow until eventually they awaken. They just kind of become. They just literally just gain consciousness one day and dig themselves out of the dirt. Alright? Well, the first mate basically goes, alright, we'll figure out what we can do. Oh my god, of course. Uh, alright, so Haran, what are you doing during that whole operation of the Rem literally digging giant chunks of stone out from the glassed over earth? Haran? Oh, I mean, yeah, that's true, but yeah. Primarily counselor with Eden and Vector, primarily Vector. Yeah. Can you give me two rolls, one with accuracy, for you like leading a team to go find some survivors. Lead, yes. Since you are leading, since you're kind of like leading this expedition, oof. It does, but it's like that's a very low one. You got another roll. I gave you two, and remember you do have an accuracy, which is an extra d6. No, an accuracy is an extra d6. No, it's an extra d6. No, I think part of us have been doing it wrong the whole time. It's really weird. So first one would be a 17. Okay, give me a second roll. Oh, Jesus Christ. So you lead out your team, and it literally takes you guys like, and you're out there for like, you're like out there for like, what? You're like out there for 2 weeks, give or take. And you're hold on. So you're out there for a week or two, and you're able to find a few groups of survivors. And basically, I imagine that you took the breaker with you, to help make sure that they're like, okay, yeah, we understand, we surrender, we've surrendered, we've given up, we don't want to fight anymore, right? Yeah, the breaker, the commander of the operation here. Yeah, you know, right. So, for context, when Vector was doing his glassing of half the continent, uh, the Breaker literally launched Metal Gear Excelsius at him at the ship, and there was a sword duel with a spaceship and a Gundam, or not Gundam, but a Metal Gear. And Breaker was able to get on board and basically was going to try to kill Vector, then got literally trapped in vibranium. And basically was revealed that yeah, he has two personalities. One is his brother, the other is actually him. Yeah. So basically, he's gone through the process of basically being chilled, or not chilled, but he's not he's gone through the process of like getting some of the augments removed that have connected him to a network that some of the Ravagers are reported being part of. And basically, he's not as aggressive as you think he was. He is still a big ass motherfucker. Like give her like 7 to 8 feet tall. He big. But yeah, you're able to find a few different groups of survivors, and they're most of them are just like literally sitting at in like what's left of their bases or bunkers, and so just literally like sitting at fires. And when you guys approach, you're just like, "Oh god damn it! I thought we could actually live in peace." But then you explain, "Oh no, we're here looking for survivors to get you guys out of this hell." They're like, "Oh okay. I guess we surrendered. Yeah, okay. I'd rather live." And so after give 1 or 2 weeks, give or take, you basically come out the Scorched Lands, as the HUS and people of Stone have been calling it now. And you come out with around, give or take, 300 to 500 survivors. Most of them being found in like either small groups of maybe at most 10, or basically just being alone. Like you're just looking at the destruction and thinking, huh, Vector was really pissed. But yeah, that is how your thing goes. Is there anything else that you guys want to do? Jericho just like, wait, what? Literally the data for like the barrels, it's literally like material no longer exists after this fire. After this fire. Like, it's very clear that these barrels were not made to fire the rat. Which is, I mean, that could work. Jericho and Lyrell, give me some rolls to see how well that would work. Yeah, invent or create. Jericho just like looking at this going, the fuck you on about? And Lyrell's just literally just half talking in cat nonsense. She's obviously speaking something that was derived from like English or at least some old Earth language, but yeah. Oh shit. Ah fuck, I forgot that I kept desktop audio muted for my last stream. God damn it.
Oh dear.
Oh whatever. I have a pretty good memory when it comes to this stuff. Um Leia, I won't be able to get the boar leather for a bit.
Why?
They're 45.
Oh. I mean, I'm currently running past mobs way higher level than me, just trying to get to the mithril ore, because it's literally at the very bottom
The
of
thing is
Southern
that these
Thailand.
enemies like are connected to each other, so if I anger one, I anger multiple.
Oh.
So
This is ominous.
Alright, so Slaya, Lyrell, you're basically just talking half in cat nonsense because of how complicated the topic is, and you're falling back halfway through your own language because it's the best way you can explain it.
Jericho gets like the stuff that's not cat nonsense. Jericho gets of the stuff that is cat nonsense. Jericho gets like half of it. So overall, he gets maybe
Jericho
like
gets the impression that
75%.
Lyrell wants to tear down the engine, rebuild it to octuple power output, and do something with peanut butter.
And he's not entirely sure why peanut butter.
It's an analogy, but it's a very cultural analogy, so it has no meaning outside the realm.
Which is why he's so confused about it.
He's just like, what about peanut butter? Wait, why?
More cat nonsense.
Wait, okay, wait. Why peanut butter?
Yeah.
Well, remember how I mentioned how there was that whole food law that almost devastated their economy, and because of it, you're no longer allowed to put pickles on your peanut butter sandwich?
I mean,
Rem
just a
lore
crime
is
against
super
humanity.
fucking weird.
Basically, some cultural things arose from that, and now peanut butter has a sort of significance outside of just being a food product. Kind of like how beer isn't just a drink; it has like alcoholic drinks have cultural significance in their places of origin.
Yeah.
Except the
Yeah.
them don't really drink alcohol because they have like no tolerance for it. You know, it's the anime character where they have 1% chocolate, 1% alcoholic chocolate, and suddenly they're super, super drunk.
Alcoholic chocolate. Oh god. All right. So
Oh no!
it takes you guys around like
So, did you know that if you try to mine an ore vein near near one of these shoot, why can't I think of the name? You know, the little purple
monsters?
hexagon symbol?
Yeah.
If you're in one of those and you try to mine an ore, you automatically join it. So I just got attacked by 12 level 40 mages at once.
Oh god. Tactical
Odd,
nuke. Tactical nuke
your
activated. Turn the key.
your stealth should avoid putting you in combat, though. That's a bit
The
of an
thing
odd one.
is that she's probably not high enough level for the stealth to work.
Yeah, no,
That
the
is
enemies are 10 level higher
possible.
than me. My stealth only walks
Eh,
up to enemies like 5 levels higher than me.
Hmm.
Let me check exactly what it says. Sneak. 4 levels higher than your own.
Hmm.
Ah.
I'm only a level 32 minor. Okay, so I'll guess I'll ask my guild if I can borrow some mythwool.
They probably have plenty to spare.
Yeah.
But between Jericho, it takes you it takes your ComCon like a good half hour to really get what the fuck she's talking about. Like trying to like her ComCon is overheating trying to decipher the cat nonsense.
It was not made to handle this much.
Yes, it was not meant to handle this much Kate. And eventually it does figure out the translation and basically explains what Lyrel wants to do in order to have it resist the rat.
It's not quite accurate, but it gets the idea across. There are lots of things that there just aren't translations for.
It's just like unknown word, unknown expletive, unknown meaning, just randomly thrown in because the Rem's language is legitimately and just it is full on another language.
But eventually, just like, oh, you want to make them superconductive? No, I don't think we can manage that. These are cannons, not railguns.
Lywell holds up an image, projects from Orbi that shows a retractable railgun lining being fitted into the barrel.
That would make it work, although that would interfere with the rifling.
No. Basically, it's almost like watching a transformer. The rifling turns into railgun.
I mean, that adds so much extra onto it, though, just for the occasions that Vecna decides to plug in for, though. Like,
Lywell just raises an eyebrow and gives him a look.
you remember that this is going to be a mass production model. Not everyone is going to have a Vecna with a fucking rat.
No. We won't do this to all the models, just this one specifically. For
Yeah,
our
this one-
sake.
For the
Well,
personal
this one's
model.
going to get. This one is technically going to get scrapped for the next test model, but we could test it for the final product, or at least for when I make mine.
I mean,
After
test
all, I will. After all, I will need my personal one to be a bit more Vecna proof.
Lywell nods
Vector
eagerly.
proof.
You can tell she's really liking the idea of getting to tear down and rebuild your mech.
I mean, Lissel is also here for all of this. He's got a little welding mask on.
Oh god.
Who?
My dragon.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Lywell has
Because
not met
Vector-
those.
Yeah.
She's met Vecna's dragon,
Yeah.
and I believe she's also seen Jericho's dragon, but has not met them yet.
Yeah. They've
Oh, yeah,
like
she
seen
kind.
them on
I
like
think
the
she saw them, but then
hallways.
forgot about them because Iggy.
Yeah, they've
Mhm.
seen them in like the hallways every now and then, falling behind Jericho, but was very much distracted by Iggy because Iggy big.
Iggy kind of demands your attention, you know.
Yes.
But yeah. So beside Jericho, like wearing a little welding mask on his head, is a black dragon.
Oh, how big?
What did I say for?
About as big as a house.
It's fairly big.
Like I don't know, a farmhouse, a Californian house, a New York
Farmhouse.
apartment closet that they claim is a residence.
I'd say a farmhouse.
Oh, so big boy.
Yeah,
Big boy.
Yeah, these guys are meant to be ridden on and pull some like insane maneuvers. I cannot wait for
Like-
you guys to return back to Pern.
Mhm.
Ooh.
But yes. So yeah.
Lywell looks at the big dragon. Looks over at Jericho. Is this yours?
Oh, yeah, that's Lizzie.
Oh.
Jericho, in the back of your head, you just hear cat.
Yes, Lizzie. Cat.
And Lizzie just kind of like moves up and just kind of like bumps his head against you, Lyrell. Like not in a
1
threatening
second.
way, just like how you expect a cat, like you know, like how some cats will just kind of move up to you and just bump their head against you.
No, what 1 second. I have a thing for this.
Oh no.
Where is it? Shoot, I can't find it. I need to really organize my cat gifts, but it's something like this. No, it's supposed to be a GIF. Why does this never work?
I don't know. Trust me. I don't know. I'd love to know, but I don't.
I mean, if it uploads as a GIF, it should upload as a GIF.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh god, that one. Perfect.
This is now what Lywell is doing behind the leg of Jericho's mech.
and
It's just like,
Lizzie's just like, why scared?
I don't know. He won't bite. Or no. No, he won't bite.
You sounded very unsure of that.
Only bite when you want me to.
Exactly. He only bites who I tell him to.
Thinking back to when he killed a Ravager fighter pilot.
He'd go nom nom nom.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's a point where Lizzie wanted to go flying, so Jericho took him to the battlefield.
Just breath weaponed and strafed across the Ravager lines.
So Lywell would look over at Jericho. So they are friendly?
Oh yeah. Imagine you had a pet. Except that pet is smart. And they can talk to you. That's Lizzie.
Oh. Kind of like Orby.
Not as mechanical, but yeah, I suppose.
So Lywell would very hesitantly hold out her hand like Hiccup did.
and Lizzie just kind of like moves up, bump, just bump. Like very soft and gentle because this dragon knows that you are very soft and squishy. So they are being very careful not to do any kind of injury. And what is your reaction to that? Oh.
It's
I'm just
twofold.
imagining Lizzle knowing someone can take it and just giving them the full body lick.
Yes.
Lywell's now
that is exactly
Lywell is
what
now
Lizzie
full
does
body
with,
hugged onto the snout.
By the way, Jericho. That is exactly what Lizzie does with Jericho and Vecna. Because Lizzie knows that they can take it. But this is small cat girl. This is unknown. So need to be careful. Need to make sure to be soft.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just like they're just looking at the cat girl just full body hugging its head. And he's just like, friend?
Yeah, Lywell's just sort of hugged around the snout of it.
This sign of friend.
Yes, Lizzle. It's new friend.
You just hear a happy growl.
Which is happy dragon purring.
Yes. It's very much a happy dragon purr, and there's like a bit of snow coming out of their nostrils. But Jericho, you know that's like, oh yeah, they're happy. This is specifically the happy smoke. And I'm imagining Lyrell's just like, I want one now.
See, it's not as scary as Iggy, because while Iggy's harmless as a newborn kitten, he's just too big.
Yeah, Iggy is ginormous.
He is big now. He was not always.
He was not always big. He just became big.
Iggy just laughing expels enough air to cause terminal injury.
Hey!
Vecna, you're alive!
Holy shit!
You overslept, mate.
No, I didn't.
Life hit you?
I've been awake since fucking 6? I don't know what happened, but I closed my eyes and then it was 9, and Jesus Christ.
No, you're fine, hon. You're fine. Trust me. I understand the feeling where you're like, okay, I'll just close my eyes for a minute. Next thing you know, it's like, holy shit, what time is it? What year am I in?
Yeah.
Am I in the same
you
dimension?
sound like you've been thrown through the ringer and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you are alive,
okay.
and we are currently doing some housekeeping matters.
Oh,
Lyrell and Lizzle have become besties.
Yes.
So if you look in general, you'll see 3 gifts. This is the order of events of how Lywell met Jericho's dragon.
Oh boy.
The first one is where Lizzie tried to do like the cat head bop.
Bop.
And then Lywell held out her hand like from How to Train Your Dragon.
And Lizzie just very gently bop.
And now and now we're down to the thought image.
Lamau.
Lywell is not going to give Lizzie back.
Oh jeez.
Okay, so Jericho, would you want to explain a little thing about dragons?
Yes.
That I imagine that Jericho seeing Lyrell just like hugging onto Lizzie, just going like, you
He's
can't
mine.
keep him.
She's mine.
No, he.
Yeah, he.
Oh, okay,
mine.
he's
Not giving him back.
For context, I'll explain the whole thing. But dragons from Pern are psychically bonded to their rider.
They literally hatch for their rider.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a human nearby that they like, they will hatch and be psychically bonded to that human.
If there is not a rider for them nearby, they will stay unhatched for
A long
centuries.
time. Yeah. Iggy was the result of was what the eggs had been literally asleep for like 300 years.
Yeah.
Iggy was technically an oopsie.
Iggy was very much an oopsie.
Yeah. Iggy was
He
very
was
much
a happy accident, but Vecna is very proud of his son.
because
Yes, son.
Vector,
That is accurate, I would
for
say.
what happened in this
Yeah.
event, Vector was wanting to investigate the egg box that was being carried into the place because
Because it was guarded and very, very clearly, important. And
like
Vecna
when
is.
it, but also the main thing is that when the guards passed by Vector, the box shook a little,
It rattled.
and Vector's just like,
Oh.
oh no,
Vecna was confused.
and so
And
decided to
possibly
follow.
maybe curious to get his own dragon, and he followed, and he tried distracting the guards, and then the box started rattling.
He
very
accidentally
aggressively.
bamfed into the people. Like he bamfed and
Yeah.
accidentally ran into them. They dropped the
Yep.
box and like, oh no, it's shaking. What the fuck?
And Vecna used that to be like, hey, maybe the box is gonna explode. You guys should run.
And so they did.
Yeah.
And so they did.
I think I actually used those exact words.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
basically went to the Were Commander, which is the name of the place where the Dragon Riders stay, and basically went the box. We dropped the box because the weird new metal man just came in, and then all of a sudden it appeared right next to us. We got spooked. We dropped in. Now the box had fucking exploded.
And while
And
they
then
were off
And then
telling
the
their
egg hatched,
commander,
and was just
and
then the
yeah,
egg hatched,
while,
and Iggy was just like, "Daddy."
while they were off telling their commander, the egg hatched, and Vecna has a son now.
Vecna panics. He's like, I'm not ready to be a single father.
But yeah,
And
that
then
is
he,
the story of how Iggy
up
was
the
was
small
born.
dogs, and then he, picked up the small dog-sized lizard and ran because holy fuck, that's a bad look. And then by the time he was telling everyone else on the Pern Council, Were Council, what was it again?
So it's basically the council. Basically, it's made
Yeah,
up
the
of the
council.
people who are in charge of the wares and the holds.
Yeah, the ruling oligarchs essentially.
Yeah.
And by the time he was done telling them, I am keeping the dragon. If any of you have a problem with it, you can talk to the end of this shotgun I found.
And the
Iggy
council were like,
was
"Well, actually, we don't have a
up his
problem with it.
shoulder?
The dragon chose you."
Uh,
I think it was about his shoulder height when he was doing that.
Something like that.
Aloafil just gave me 50,000 gil. What the fuck?
Yeah. Don't question it. Just don't do anything he says.
He then climbed onto a robotic horse and rode off into the distance.
Ah, yes. That happens sometimes.
I am very
People will just randomly
confused,
give,
cat girl.
new players money.
I am very confused, cat girl, but I am thankful.
I mean, I have
Yeah.
2.8 million gil now, so
Yeah.
But so Lyrel, unfortunately, Jericho basically explains that, yeah, no, he isn't yours, but if we go back to Pern, you can get your own.
No,
Yep.
you cannot keep him.
No,
yeah,
you cannot
see,
keep him.
Lyrel has been told a few things about Pawn.
It's
And-
improved.
It's much better.
This is a reaction to the idea of going there.
We left it much better than we came. We did not pull a home and turn half of it into glass, I assure you.
Oh, by the way, so Vecnor, I assume when Vecnor enters the hangar, sorry. I assume at this point Vecnor will have entered the hangar and seen this.
Possibly. Where did we leave off? I don't remember.
It's now about 2 weeks later.
It's
Okay,
about
it's
2
been
weeks
2
later.
weeks.
The party
They've
has
been doing
doing
cleanup
some
detail.
cleanup detail. Mostly just like the Rem helping basically gather up as many of the unborn people of Stone that they can underneath that.
Oh yeah,
so-called
Vecna almost
marshlands.
committed mass genocide against the people of Stone.
Because
By
What?
accident.
you remember how the
All
people of Stone
were underneath the crust of the continent, which you glassed.
That's where their babies grow.
Oh.
and basically like
Shit.
Lyrell witnessed like Vix leading like a prayer for the unborn souls. Because
And
like
so
they understood
the
they don't blame Vecna for like killing their kind. No, they just like they understand this was a necessary move to end the war. So they gave like a
the
small
Lem
prayer.
fleets descended and using their lasers have been trying to precision cut out as many as they can, and they've managed to save about 200-ish.
200-ish, give or take. It's a lot were lost during
And
the
then
glassing.
Vic sat Lywell down and gave her a sort of speech about how babies are made and the people of Stone.
It was basically like it was a Galvaton crystal that had like those videos of like people creating a chicken but showing you the
Sex
process.
education video, yes.
Yeah, basically it's like with the chicken egg, but they like show you the process of it growing. Basically that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so now Lyrell understands how the people stone grow.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Don't tell Vecna he's gonna feel like a giant dick.
no, you're fine.
Oh no, I was assuming that Lywell would give him a status update because I was assuming he would see the mass fleets of ships trying to cut through
Yeah, so
not
like,
Well, yeah,
so on the
he'd
first day
feel
of
like
Vecna,
a massive dick.
Now, so it turns out you didn't actually glass the planet because whatever material it is shouldn't exist.
exotic matter is the
Oh.
result.
Excuse?
There, like,
Yeah, the
part of the surface that has been glassed is partly exotic matter and normal matter stuff. Even like the Rem, even the UH, even like the Union scientists are just like, what the fuck was
What?
that weapon?
What does that mean? Did the stone become exotic matter as a result of the heat?
Yes,
Okay.
like as a result of the heat
So
and the
foam is made of ore. Got it.
yeah, or kind of. It's a weird situation that they're like, what the fuck?
It's ore. It's ore. I'm too tired. It's ore.
Yeah, you're fine, hon. You're fine.
Moving on.
All right.
Okay, yeah, sure. Vector's gonna feel like even more of an asshole when he gets the status update. Anyways, there's gonna be a lot of Hellfire drones helping do the cutting.
Yeah. So the first day for you, Vecna, is actually you and Eden discussing something. Basically,
boy.
she tells everyone that
Yeah, with Haran.
yeah. After that, she's
Yeah.
going to basically sit Vecna down and say that there is an option that we need to consider.
I'm not killing you.
No, not regarding that. Regarding you and current times.
I'm willing to kill myself.
No, not that. The potential of us. I don't want to say this, but
Eden. If I die, I trust you to delete my search history.
I
understand that, but no, not that. I mean, in regards of potentially cycling you.
Ah! I suddenly wish to be elsewhere.
Hun, no.
Please?
Vecna,
Please?
this is a
Eden, you
serious
know I don't
matter.
like this topic.
I don't like it either. But in regards of recent incidents and things, I don't want to lose you. Don't get me wrong. I would not be suggesting this if there was a possibility of losing who you are. I've been
Even
doing some
cycling.
research into
Even
my
this
own
is-
coding. As she taps the table, and you watch as like part of her code is like displaying on a holographic projection.
Mhm.
You understand how I am seemingly immune to the negative side effects of cycling, correct?
Yes, you're immune to shackle degeneration. I understand this.
Well, I think I might have figured out exactly what part of me leads to this. And
You what?
I've been researching this. I researched this a long time ago. I couldn't find anything, but I've held the files. After
Uh-huh.
you cascaded, I decided to reopen the research. And she pulls up a massive part of her code. I
Whoa.
might have found what makes me basically be immune to the memory loss and soul deletion.
Oh.
Now, it is theoretically possible for me to basically perform a code splice.
Mm.
Again, theoretically.
Mm, Uh,
Vecna, look. I would not be suggesting this if I didn't think this was necessary. And I'd want you to be on this. Have my full permission to try this. I don't want to force you.
no, no, yeah, I get that. I get that. I do, really, I do.
You understand why
just,
I'm saying this, right?
yeah, I do. I'm not exactly the most stable, and I've been teetering on the edge of cascading for the past who knows how many years.
It
I
would
do
do
get it.
it would do you
Really,
some
I
good.
do.
It really would.
Yeah, yeah, it would. My last cycle was about around the time Harrison stuffed me on into space.
Actually, when I salvaged you.
Yeah. Well, I did say about around. You know how it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do get it. There's just a difference between hearing that there's a way to avoid getting mind wiped and finding out that it involves splicing in about 90% of your adoptive parents' blood.
This is simply just and plus this is only theoretical.
Yeah.
As much as I'd want to say that this would work, I don't even understand if it could.
Yeah.
But also, this wouldn't be done by the technicians.
It'd be done by you?
Me and anyone that you feel you can trust.
Jericho just comes in wearing a mad scientist outfit.
The door's locked.
Oh,
I'm not
you
saying
think
he
you'll
actually
supply
does.
well?
I'm just
Heaven's
proposing
Gate
this with a
security
mental
system.
I'm just saying, like, just imagine this when the time comes. It's like, in walks Jericho in a mad scientist outfit, doing a stupid phony German accent. It's like, hello, I will be your surgeon for today. Please make sure you have not had any fluids in the last 24 hours. Pulls out giant syringe. Now this may sting a little.
God damn it.
Christ. Jesus Christ.
You do.
Yeah.
I understand if you're very much against this.
No, I'm thinking.
Thinking about what? She just leans in.
So, the Dragons of Pern have this telepathic ability, yeah? And it can connect to even my fucked up meat code brain.
Yes.
Ha!
And
Meat code.
the People of Stone's Galvanon crystals can hold seemingly infinite amounts of data if they're designed for it.
Oh, oh, never mind. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
Okay. Sorry.
You won't do drugs?
No, I won't interrupt. See, last night I had a bit of an idea.
Oh?
Okay, basically, so PB was talking about how Vecnor might need help for doing this. We weren't sure, and so I was thinking, how could Lyrell help? And in a almost sleep-deprived state, I suddenly had a realization. So
Oh no.
the first have that Yavin spear that can work as a conduit to transfer impossible amount of energy and data near instantly. It's some sort of super weapon.
It's mostly
Their crystals
energy.
can hold
Yeah,
super data.
mostly
So
energy.
what if
Or
you
rather, lack of energy.
took the most you took the strongest cable you could, like a really thick cable, plugged one end into Vecnor's brain, and the other end into whatever we need to plug it into. Now, in order to not lose Vecnor's Vecnor, we need to keep Vecnor's Vecnor. But how do we keep the Vecnor in Vecnor so that he doesn't lose Vecnor? Well, we need some sort of vector, and the vector could be the Yavin spear pierced through a Galvan stone into the transfer cable, because the spear would be able to transfer all the energy as it's pulling in, and the Yavin crystal could hold all the data of Vecnor, so that Vecnor can be cycled, and hopefully we can build some sort of breaker to stop a feedback loop from deleting the Vecnor copy. That's why we can do the very, very highly illegal thing of cycling Vecnor without cycling Vecnor.
You basically want to use a Galvanon crystal as a buffer.
Along with a world-destroying super weapon, yes.
Well, yes, but basically.
Yeah. World destroying super weapon, very advanced mining laser. Who's counting?
But
I mean, with the
Okay,
amount
yeah,
of
but that was
fucking
just an idea I have. Sorry for
destruction.
interrupting. Continue as you were.
That might not actually be a bad idea.
but Eden just basically says, whatever you're planning, let me know. I'm L for any plan you can come up with. I trust you.
I have been doing some research of my own.
Oh?
Now Vecnor taps the table and brings up some schematics and anatomical diagrams of the Iggy, or rather his brain,
Yes.
with some certain parts highlighted in red and yellow. Okay, so I think these are the parts that do the telepathy thing. From what I've seen, it's essentially a form of instantaneous thought to energy to data conversion and transfer organ. It sends the message as it takes a message, a thought, the electrical energy between the neurons, transmits it into energy, Tightwave beams it to the target, and then somehow converts it into readable energy on the other side. In my case, that also turns it into data. But if it could pretty easily be converted into something like a communicator. And if that is possible, then excuse me. Then you could use it to sort of transfer something out, store it as energy, then transfer something back in once something's done.
I see what you mean.
And the Galvanon crystals store massive amounts of data or information as energy. So,
So
think they
basically,
could fit a Vecna?
most likely, from the data that's been gathered from, well, the one map crystal,
Yeah.
it's insane. The amount of information that is stored on that alone. It's hard to imagine. It's not hard to imagine that they could hold the entirety of an NHP with ease.
Yeah. And, there's the question of stability, because I don't want to. I'm kind of worried about getting even just a copy of me put in a crystal. That'd
I
be...
do understand.
But fuck it, you only live once, and I've bitten off too many heads at this point.
That's true.
Yeah, I'll get to work on that prototype thing, and
Alright. Is
probably
there anyone you
Lyra
want me to...
crystal.
Is there anyone you want me to contact about this?
Haran.
Haran?
Just Haran.
Yes, Haran. Understood.
If it goes wrong, she's the one I want to tell the rest of the team. If it doesn't, I'd just like her to be there regardless.
Alright. I understand.
Speaking of, I should probably go find them to make sure the idiots haven't done something idiotic.
I just want to say
So-
that during all
Only
this, they have stopped
because
working on the
that is
Bismarck
these people.
and are just
No.
playing with Leslie now.
Lyrell would not have stopped walking on the Bismarck. Like
No,
she gets
that. Okay, so this is like day one. The rest
Oh, okay.
and like you guys are starting out your stuff.
Oh, okay.
So Jericho, Lyrell sends the updates and stuff in regards to the glassed area and recovering of basically the People of Stone children.
Yeah.
Which he then does dispatch a bunch of his drones in order to help.
Yeah, because small drones with high-intensity cutting lasers and blades strapped to their arms make for very effective excavation tools.
I refuse to believe that. That's completely illogical.
Shut the fuck up. Also, what did you say, Haran?
Oh no, that was out of character. I just said that I
No,
refuse.
in regards to the Vecna.
I hadn't said anything yet. I was more earlier. I just been
something
talking
about that being like, and then everyone else cut you off.
You were saying me to go and check on them to make sure that they're not being idiots.
Yes,
And I was saying that's just them at their natural state.
true.
You're
So-
not wrong.
Anyways, day 2, Vecna gets the machine and the crystal
So
because
so over the course of the time that it takes you a bit to get the machine and the crystal, mostly because the Galvatron crystals are a bit hard to come by given the construction of the first right now.
well, that's fair.
So because
But
the
it
RUM
doesn't
decided to
take me a bit of
ransack
time
the
to get the
office.
machine because it does not take me time to get the machine because I'm just gonna use the cornucopia device.
Because Vecna is going to perform a Vecna.
Yeah. I'm gonna use the cornucopia device to make the psychic data transfer thingy.
Alright.
Because Vecna does not know about the first shiny metal stick being able to transfer energy. Or to act as a communications device. He just
The
knows
device
that
with
holy
something that
fucking
looks like
shit,
Cerebro.
that thing was explosive.
Yes. And as far as Daedalus can basically explain is, as far as I understand, that was a prototype weapon.
Yeah. Antimatter energy reactions are spicy.
Yes. So
I'd say day 3 Vecna does the surgery.
sure. So on day 3, Eden basically locks down a section of the ship for just for Haran, Eden, and Vecna.
And then fucking day whatever is after that Vecna kind of disappears, and then day whatever is whenever everyone else sees him again.
All right.
When he's dealing with these two fucking around with the dragon.
All right. So Vecna.
Yeah.
For this.
Oh Jesus. Yeah.
I'm going to flip a coin.
Oh fuck.
Oh no.
And I would like for you to call.
To pick heads or tails.
Yes. 1 minute while I grab a coin. One moment while I go grab my pants and grab a coin.
Oh no, PB, use those fancy D&D coins you bought.
1 minute while I go grab my pants.
I'm wearing shorts right now. I don't like to wear pants in the house. What do you think? I'm just sitting here without pants on.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, cause you said let me go grab my pants. Why would you need to grab pants if you're wearing shorts? Those are pants. They're just short pants.
Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I do have my D&D coin that I bought.
Oh, Christ's sakes.
All right. So, heads or tails?
Heads.
All right.
Wrong answer. Tails never fails.
Shut the fuck up.
50% of the time, it works every time.
50% of the time, heads works every time.
Nah, it doesn't. That's a myth.
So, Vecna,
You're a myth. Oh no.
you are sitting in the machine that you have set up. Eden is there operating it, and Haran is watching. And Eden takes 1 moment. Are you ready?
Oh, do it anyway.
And she presses the button. And the world for you goes black. And for Haran, you see him seemingly seize for a moment, then is lifeless. A blank look on his face, and his eyes have lost their color. And after a few minutes, Vecna, you open your eyes. And you are you. When you open
Hey,
your
Vecna?
eyes, you see Eden looking at you, having one of those eye dilation flashlights looking into your eyes.
Does that even work on a mechanical body?
His eyes are still semi-organic. They're reacting, so that means
Eden, that's bright.
when you say that, she just points it down.
Thank you.
You remember?
Remember what?
You remember me?
Of course. Why wouldn't I?
It worked! She screams as she will hug you very, very tightly.
Of course it worked. Why wouldn't it? I mean, come on. This is you and me we're talking about.
I wouldn't say I would be lying if I didn't say I was worried.
Why, you didn't trust the process?
I
Well,
trust
I
it,
was
but
worried.
I mean, I did trust it, but still, just let a mother be worried about her child.
Vecna looks over at Haran and he has this odd sort of happy smile that doesn't quite fit, but it also looks really nice on him. I'm sorry I worried you.
Well, I'm just glad you're okay. So don't worry about it too much.
Do you want a hug as well?
Please, I always want a hug.
Come here.
Eden lets go of him and lets him have his hug.
Vecna gets up out of the chair and hugs Haran.
And he will get a very
Without
tight hug.
Any
in
kind
return.
of prompting.
Haran will accept that happily. It's not easy
Ladies
to get
and
the
gentlemen.
unprompted hug.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vecna being normal.
Oh.
He's not schizophrenic anymore. He's just autistic
Ex-
now.
X to doubt.
Eden...
1 second, I need to invent a new type of X to doubt.
Can I say at this point, a little notification pops up for Vecna from Jericho?
Huh?
What is it?
And
What is it?
It's just a gif of Iggy and Izzy playing tug of war.
Aw. That's adorable.
So, while you were out, I actually did something for you to help you a bit.
What would that be?
I understand that you have a bit of a problem with time filtering, correct?
Yeah, that's one way to put it.
The whole
Is that why
recursive loop thing.
everything's- Yeah.
Well,
Is that why everything's so linear?
yeah, I did something that I did to myself a while back.
Oh.
It's a very simple chip. It helps basically turn our looping perception of time into at least 1 or 2 loops, not hundreds.
Oh.
It's
Well, that's
not
useful.
perfect, but it's definitely going to be much simpler for you.
It's a prototype perception filter. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll give me something to work on in my spare time.
I doubt it'll ever be perfect, but it's better than nothing.
No such thing as not perfect.
With you, I believe that.
Just needs some time.
Now, why don't you go say hi to everyone?
Yeah, probably should. Make sure they're not doing something stupid. Come on, Haran. Let's go find the idiot crew.
Of course. I mean, someone's got to let them know that you came out all good and all right.
Yeah.
So for Haran and Jericho as they're working on the mech, they see
You mean
Lyrel.
Lyrel.
Sorry. Jericho and Lyrel, you both see Jericho come. Not Jericho, but Vecna come in.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Oh, hello. Are you two working on your mech, Jericho?
Vecna would
Basically.
see that
Hmm.
Lywell is doing something, basically trying to fit a whole lot of highly delicate mechanical parts into what looks like the disassembled barrel of Jericho's mech, while Jericho is saying how it's only a prototype, you don't need to do this. And Lywell is replying in some form of cat nonsense that Jericho seems to have a minor understanding of.
Lyrel, are you sure it's smart for all that to go in there?
And Lywell gives him a quick response, which his translator says something about something
Peanut butter.
potential slow something. Peanut butter is highly important.
Yeah, I know you like peanut butter, Lyrel. Could you slow down a minute and try that again?
Don't ask. It'll take you half an hour to learn what it means.
Well,
Vecna, you're
fine.
hearing a report from Jericho's NHP about overheating due to translations.
Don't worry, buddy. Let me handle it.
Yeah, with a
Hi,
little
Ralph.
CompCon. It's
You
just like
slow
overheating
down.
error, overheating error, overheating error.
You keep doing that, and you're gonna make Jericho's poor NHP cascade.
It's just a CompCon.
Yeah.
So no risk of cascading, but the poor thing can't take it.
So,
Oh.
as you guys are talking, you both realize Vector's remarkably chill.
And Haran is hanging off of his arm like the happiest Southern belle.
Lywell would stop, look at Vecna,
Hi.
blink again, tilt her head in the way a confused cat does.
Do I have something on my face?
She'd pull out her data pad and hit the scan button again, the fancy one.
Why, Rel, that you know that doesn't work on me.
It puts up an error, but
Yeah, only got a 12. You know, Vecna, scanning you is the one thing I can never seem to get a crit on.
yeah, you run a scan and it does give an error, but the error isn't as bad as it was last time.
It's not 637 different tiny little error codes. It's only like 30.
Yeah.
Lywell would mute the outside speaker of her helmet and as turn on the comms as she whispers to Jericho, "Something's wrong. He's not."
He's not Vecnoring.
The heck do you mean? He seems fine to me.
There's
Jericho
no...
then realizes that's an oxymoron.
Yeah, Vector seeming fine is not. It's not something that happens.
And Jericho
would
realizes,
explain
wait a
this.
minute.
No aura of Vecna.
No aura of Vector!
He still looks like Vecna to me.
Vecna, what do you think they're talking
Lywell would then
about?
turn on the exterior speaker and like, "We're making a plasma shielding so that the rat doesn't rat the barrel."
Oh. While they're
At least
doing their
that's
little
what
helmet
she's trying
conversation-
to do.
While they're doing their little helmet conversation, Vector's just gonna lean down and give Haran a kiss on the lips.
Aww.
Hey.
Public displays of affection. Holy
In
shit!
this
Something
economy?
really is wrong. Something really is wrong with Vector.
I mean, Jericho's just
Lywell
gonna
goes back
glance
to
and go
Jericho.
like,
"See, he didn't yell at us."
Interesting. Lyrel, you do realize all that effort's gonna be wasted because this is a prototype, right? You're
Lywell
gonna have to
beams,
do the exact same
Lyrel
thing
beams.
over on the
And-
one who
and
builds
then-
Gap.
unmutes her helmet and says again, "There's no such thing as wasted effort, only more data."
Only wasted time as well.
I
Although, I do suppose it would be good to test the prototype plasma shielding on the prototype before you build the new one so that you can integrate the upgrade.
mean,
You do have to admit it is smart, if not a bit more time consuming. Make sure that the
The
upgrade
whole-
works on the prototype before upscaling onto the main design.
well, yeah, but the thing is that this is only prototype phase 1.
No, yeah.
With all the
but-
data that I've got, the next thing I'm going to be working on is prototype phase 2. It would make more sense to install the shielding on that.
Well, true. But if you install the prototype on this, if you install the shielding on this model, give it a test run, then you can integrate that data with the other data from the prototype 1, and then you can integrate it into prototype 2 so that you can have even more data on the plasma shielding and ways to improve it.
Meanwhile, Eden would get a call.
Eden would pick it up. What's up?
Vecna's defending my point. I'm scared. What do I do? Does he have a brother?
Oh,
You have no idea how right you are.
Eden's just like, oh right, he probably hasn't told you yet.
He hasn't yelled at me. I'm trying to do reality altering shielding.
Eden
Eh.
just gets a very quick message. Don't tell them.
Vecna
Lero?
did something to help him relax. He'll talk about it when
Lero.
he's ready.
Eden can
Literal
almost heal
cat
Lyra
Was
Whiplash.
getting a sadistic
can
sort
relax?
of pleasure out of this.
Lateral,
Eden
how
would- Eden could
old
almost-
are you?
Huh?
How old are you, cat?
Lyra blinks. Biologically or
32.
chronologically?
Yes.
Either. Both.
Let's see.
I believe Lyra
1 second.
count as
I just need to check this. I have the Lyra timeline.
according to the information I can gather, I believe Lyra would be around 32. At least in Union Standard.
Yeah, so she'd be middle age.
1 second.
Though, of course, that doesn't change the fact that her species do not act their age. So, Lyra
Oh, here we go.
lacks
So.
They can't grow vocabulary.
So.
pretty much, yeah.
Accommodating for time in warp dilation because she spent a lot of time in that. Okay. So Lyra will smile. Well, 80 years ago, I was born to my parents, and after finishing academy, I graduated top of my class at the Academy of Royal Technologies and Engineering.
Good job.
I eventually joined the REM fleets, and I set a new record as being the youngest REM to ever be promoted to captain.
So,
80.
No, I'm only 26. I spent a lot of time in warp speed, so I didn't age very much.
80 REM standard, about...
No. I was born 80 years ago by Hus Galactic Standard.
Okay, 80 years ago.
But I've
by
only
Hus standard.
aged 20. But I'm only 26 years of age due to warp speed.
Okay. So,
Well, yeah,
you
that
know what
tracks.
afterglow is? Yes?
What?
So
Afterglow.
Oh.
So you can't see
Yeah.
this due to a helmet, but Blywell's blushing deep crimson.
Aww.
Aww.
It's even more pronounced because she's albino.
Jericho just points between Vecna and Haran. Like, really, just connect the dots.
No.
I mean,
nothing.
Jericho is also entirely wrong on this, but
Yeah.
that's what he infers from this situation.
was just chuckling.
Jericho
No,
hears
nothing
this.
like that. That's
Over the
so
comm.
Oh god. God damn it.
Jericho's just like, note to self: the cats are prudes.
It's not prude, it's innocence.
No, Jericho, nothing like that.
What? What do you mean nothing like that? Okay, what the fuck have you two been doing?
Blywell would open up speaker. You know what? I just remembered. I forgot to change the coolant on my fusion reactor. I gotta go do that.
Why are you going? I'm fine. Actually, I'm better than fine. As for what I did, well, it's less what I did and more what Eden did. I just helped.
Blywell was like, but
I
you
have many
said
more
she's
concerns
your
about this now.
mom.
Lyrel, not in that way. I got cycled.
Wait, Wait. Then how are you still you?
Will just hits the mute button on her helmet as she's scampering away. Like, these people are so weird.
Lyrell, come back, please. No,
In
she's gone.
Lyrell's mind, Vecna fucked his mom. Okay.
No, she's gone.
I'm sure that will have no long-term ramifications. I mean, think about it this way, Vecna. The worst that can happen is that this rumor goes and spreads throughout all the realm.
Yeah, I should probably tell Eden.
If you'd like, I can let her know.
Yeah, would you mind? I'll explain to Jericho.
Let it be known, this is Jericho's fault again.
God damn it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is pretty much his fault again.
Yeah, it's completely his fault. Anyways.
It's no longer a coin flip between if something is Jericho's or Vecna's fault. From now on, it's just Jericho's fault.
Yeah. Anyway.
Hey, Captain.
Yes. What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to give you a little heads up. We've been talking with the other guys on the team, and while we seem to have made some ground, Lyrell's gone into a bit of a panic. Not a teleport and hide away panic, but she
More,
didn't think that
just
you
run away with her
cycled.
tail between her legs.
Yeah, she didn't think that you cycled Vecna so much as you spent an
Horizontal.
intimate night with him.
Oh dear mother.
We may want to preemptively either track her down, or if the rumor spreads to the realm, see if we can nip that in the bud. Because as funny as it would be, it may be a bad look for negotiations.
Yeah. I'll get right on that. Just immediately disappears from room and appears right in front of Lyrell.
Oh, I thought it was a radio call.
Yeah, no.
I mean,
like,
it is, but
she-
from wherever
Oh.
Eden is.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Okay.
Eden would be in Lywell's room, and she would see Lywell just kind of blustering about randomly changing the fuel lot alignment of the fusion reactor in her room. And Eden would also see that Lywell's really filled out her room. It has a large 4-poster princess canopy bed, a massive industrial fabrication bench, and bolted to the ceiling above that is a 3D printer. There's various holographic displays everywhere, and tons of cables just all plugged into the fusion reactor to power everything.
You understand I can just plug everything to the main power supply, right?
Yeah, but this is just kind of what she does.
No, that's literally Eden like talking just when she walks in.
And I was like, oh, it's fine, you know. I had the extra fuel rods laying around, so I figured I might as well use them. So, nice weather, right? The solar winds over in Quantum 16 have really lit up the place.
Eden just I already know what happened, and I'm here to clear some things up. No,
Okay.
I did not spend a night with my son. I'm just clearing that up right now. You were simply misunderstanding what you were
Jericho
talking
said
about.
that Vecna's less Vecnoism was due to a afterglow with you.
No. That'd most likely be.
I like how we can
Ron.
just like leave that anything of like, but Vecna said, and it's like, and there's your problem.
Yeah.
That would most likely be with Haran. I see him as a son. You understand
I-
that, and I am not
Mhm,
going to.
I'm
pass any
well
kind of
aware
taboo.
that-
Like, yes, we may be NHPs, but there's still taboos that we follow from humans. So no, we didn't do that.
Oh.
Long answer, that. Short answer, no, I didn't fuck my son.
Yes, short answer.
I will not. Wait. Jericho lied to me.
We're just now realizing that.
It's not that he
Li-
lied,
Li-
it's
Will
that
kinda
Lyrell
just-
took it the wrong way.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, based off what's said, that would be the logical conclusion.
Or
Yes.
you probably just
They can have a
misunderstood
conver-
him, like you keep doing.
Yeah.
You take a lot.
The eventual
You keep
conversation, and Jericho's just
misunderstanding
like,
us a
what?
lot.
The eventual conversation, Jericho was just like, what? No, not Vecna and Eden, Vecna and Haran.
It was partially Vecna's fault because he's the one who mentioned Eden and cycling and didn't explain because
I mean,
Lyrell
I
was
feel
already
like in
running
this
away.
specific, most of the time you're right, she misunderstands, but I feel like in this specific situation, due to the flow of the conversation, that was in fact the logical conclusion.
Well,
No,
yeah,
you're not entirely wrong.
you're not entirely wrong.
Yeah, it really did feel like that was how the conversation went, and that's very weird.
Yeah.
But
So,
yeah, Eden basically
Lywell,
just explains that Eden will just kind of like send a quick message to Vecna, like, "Can I explain to Lyrell?"
and Vecna would also get a message from Lywell apologizing for the misunderstanding, and she's very, very sorry for having mistakenly said that.
Eden gets a message that's like, "Can I try to convince her to come back so I can explain it first?"
Sure.
And then to Lyrell, it's fine. Just like come back so I can actually explain.
Lywell looks up at Eden. It's still weird, he's so calm.
Trust me, he'll explain.
It's at that moment that the reactor starts blaring lots of sounds, and Lywell's like, oops, as she finishes putting the fuel rod back in.
Eden just sighs.
Hey, Eden, you're immune to radiation, right?
Yes.
Good.
Eden just literally just like disassembles her arms. It's like, I am nanomachines.
Oh.
Freaky.
This physical avatar is literally just nanomachines.
Oh.
And my entire body is immune to radiation, so you don't have to worry about accidentally poisoning me.
That's good. Just Lywell drags a box almost the size of her from under her bed and hits a button. Just make sure no crew enter this room for the next 45 minutes while this walks.
I'll be sure to lock your room. Besides,
Lywell nods
Lancers
as she happily scurries out.
Besides, Lancers are only allowed in the Lancer dorms.
Yeah.
Well, Lywell doesn't know that.
Well, she's trying to explain that as she scampers off. But yeah, so you scamper off and you arrive once again at the in the engineering bay.
Lywell walks up to Vecna, gives another apology.
Hello, Lyra.
This time she actually takes off her helmet, looks up Vecna and says, sorry, I thought that.
It's alright. He just reaches out and pats her on the head.
Gentle pulling noises.
Oh. It's alright, Lyra. Now, do you want me to actually explain?
She nods.
Alright, so, Jericho, are you paying attention?
Very much so.
Alright, cool. So, Eden cycled me.
Yes, you
Lyra,
said
do you
that.
know what cycling is?
Not in the context of whatever you
Okay.
and Eden are.
Alright, so cycling for an NHP is essentially a way to refresh the shackles that keep us from going insane. It's a way for us to stay normal, sort of like sleeping. If an NHP doesn't sleep, they start to suffer from a form of sleep deprivation, and eventually, if it gets far enough along, they can, quote unquote, die. and they cascade. But doing this cycling usually results in the wiping of the NHP's self. It erases their memories and their personality as a result, and leaves them as a blank slate.
It's like a factory reset.
Essentially, yes. It's like a factory reset.
Which is why
Usually it
I'm
has-
so worried about why the fuck you are still you.
I'm
How
getting
the fuck did you manage that sorcery?
I'm getting to that.
Eden just appears in the room. I'm immune to cycling. You know this.
Like I said,
I mean,
I didn't do anything. It was mostly just Eden. I just built a thing and got a fancy rock. Eden's specific code, the parts of her that keep her shackled, are immune to the negative side effects of cycling. After I cascaded, she started looking into it more and figured out that there might be a way to transfer that to me. And, well, it was a bit of a coin toss. But I got lucky, and I'm still here. And I got all the benefits of cycling as well. I feel
Jesus
better
Christ.
than I have in ages.
Ow.
You alright?
Yeah, I'm just having a allergy attack.
Oh, Jesus.
Ow.
Wait, why are you having an allergy attack?
EpiPen.
No, it's not that kind.
Oh,
Oh, seasonal
Yeah,
allergies?
seasonal allergies. It's starting, like, summer plants are starting to bloom and all that pollen.
yeah, that does it.
hay fever.
Yeah,
Mhm.
basically. And now now my arms are numb.
Fun.
There's
you
been
could really
construction going
benefit
on in
from
my
an EpiPen.
house. A lot of construction,
look
having
into
central
it.
air put in. The kitchen ceiling needs to be raised up because the earthquake cracked some beams. So there's just dust and debris everywhere in my house. And the other day, I sneezed so hard, I literally could not stand up.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Oof.
no, it'd be like that.
Yeah, it does. It do be like that sometimes.
But yeah, I'll see if I can convince my doctor if I can be able to get an EpiPen for seasonal allergies. It would actually very much help.
Yeah.
An
some anti-
antihistamine would probably be better.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
like some
Lyrell's
prescription antihistamines
nodding as
without
they're
any
giving
of
an
the,
explanation,
side
and then she's
effects.
like, "Wait, so you combined brain surgery and therapy into an automated, life-threatening process, and then you went and you did this without including the team medic?"
Yes.
Well, to be fair, Lyrell, if it didn't work, I would rather not have you be one of the first people I see.
No
Fucking
offense.
ow, but
No
Lol got
offense. No offense, but you are
Well,
a bit.
I am very much offended, I'll have you know. I'm the team medic. You kidnapped me to bring me on this team, and I will do my job. So next
Yes.
time you need a life-threatening
You're very
operation done, contact me.
You are very right.
I've been
sorry.
taking night
Lyrell-
classes in first aid for the
Lyrell-
past 3 months.
Lyrell,
You're
cat,
very right. I'm sorry.
you might be a medic, but you're not a robo-medic.
I'm more qualified to walk on robots than I am people.
You're very right, Lyrell. I'm sorry.
NHPs are not.
But I wanted.
NHPs are people. Next time we
But-
need life-saving surgery, you can do it on me.
If it didn't work, I wanted Haran to be the one to explain things. Because, well, I care about her and I trust her to take things in stride and keep going even if I am technically gone. If I'd known that you would be so upset, however, I would have made sure to tell you beforehand as well.
Of course I'm upset. We're teammates, and I trust you explicitly.
I'm sorry, Lyrel. I'll make sure to keep that in mind for next time.
Very dad energy moment.
Are we okay now?
In the universe where Vecna did not stay himself.
Hi, how are you?
Hey,
No,
how
no,
are ya?
see, no,
Hi,
see,
how are
in,
ya?
the, in the universe where Vecna did not stay himself, Lywell pulls out some top tier bullish.
Bullish?
Yes, because remember, Lywell has no idea what she scanned of Vecna, but she has a full Vecna scan.
This is true.
Yes.
So
This is a
she
good
would
point.
pull
Yes.
out all the mad science, have the data files from the REM world brought back, and she would bring back Vecna. There would probably be dire consequences, but it would work somehow by the grace of Ra
Effectively-
alone.
She would
Christ.
effectively just uncycle him, so we'd be back to square one.
Probably, yeah.
If
Yeah.
need be, she'd do the thing Vecna told her not to do, and she'd go to the contaminated fleet that went and saw Ra, and she'd try and contact him.
Oh boy.
Oh god.
Contact God to get your
I mean-
friend back.
NHPs are the children of Ra, and her friend would have died, so clearly you go to the god who made them.
I mean,
okay,
I can't
for
follow this
context,
logic,
That's
but
not
also
wrong, but that is also a
the
complete misunderstanding of the process of creation of NHPs.
okay.
Yeah.
Also, the only people who call NHPs the children of Ra are Yavin AIs because that's how
just
because
their
that's how they see
phrasing
it.
for them.
That's how they see
Yeah.
NHPs is that they're the children of Ra. It's how they
Where it
comprehend
would be
them.
more accurate to say that NHPs are sort of the cancers of Ra.
NHPs are just complicated.
Very
NHPs
much
aren't
so.
the children of Ra. They're more a side effect of his existence and influence.
Either
on the
way,
material
luckily it
plane.
works, so that doesn't have to happen.
Yes, thankfully.
Yes. Thankfully, the cat girl does not need
We
to become
don't
a
have
mad
to have
scientist.
Lyrel doesn't need to have a conversation with God.
Cut to an alternate
Fucking
future.
JRPG.
Cut to an alternate future where Lyrel is legitimately just doomslayering her way through blank space to go
Blink space
go
to
find
get to
Ra.
Ra.
It's like, I want my friend back, fucker.
Not gonna lie, I'd pay to see that.
God damn it.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Like I mentioned before to Jericho,
Ra
like,
just
when
getting
Jericho,
buried under cat nonsense.
when Grave said that he was considering abducting Lywell to Scano, and I'm like, just remember, the Rem choose peace.
Yeah. They choose to be scared.
Well, no, they are scared, and that's why they choose peace. But do not think that they can't fight back.
Yeah, this is true. They are cats. They have claws.
It's also the whole thing of speak softly, carry a giant stick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sticks. That right. You know what, PB, you'll understand this. Lywell
Oh.
would get the stick.
Oh,
Oh.
I know what that means. Oh God, no.
Oh,
Yeah, no, that's what would have happened if Ra was unwilling to facilitate. That's where things would have gone.
Oh yeah, no.
Just
She would
like-
legitimately be just doomslaying her way through fucking blink space at that point.
Forget sucker punch from God. That's just sucker punching God.
No, even worse.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you if you want to explain it.
Can I?
Let's not and say we did.
All right.
Sure,
Let's have some mystery.
yeah, different time.
Yeah, different time.
Mhm.
But
So-
back to
back to
what's happening.
yeah. So
Jerkoby is like, oh, by the way, that reminds me. Lyrel, can you stand over here for a second, please?
Lywell looks at the spot, looks at Jericho, and gives a short whistle. PB, remember the thing about the whistle?
yes. Wait, which exact thing? I remember.
One
five.
second.
I remember like 5 different things about a whistle.
1 second. Let's see.
We've
The
talked about a
thing.
lot of stuff.
You know the thing about the thing with the thing.
Yeah, you know the thing, right?
Cusco's thing. The thing for Cusco.
Oh, that's right. Shoot. Okay,
Cusco's
I'll type it in
thing.
text.
You know the poison for Cusco. Cusco's poison. Poison.
The poison
specifically
designed
chosen.
specifically to
Oh
kill
no!
Cusco.
Wait, that's right. Like this can't walk. That's right. The Lancaster is still at warp speed, coming back with her fleet.
Yeah.
Which is still actually in quarantine.
No. The Lancaster. See, what would have happened is they would have immediately exited warp because there was a failed warp. Any precious cargo would have been immediately jettisoned. So her Lancaster was jettisoned. Then the quarantine happened. So her Lancaster would have been loaded onto a different fleet and is now coming back to her.
So the Lancasters in deep space loaded onto a different fleet and now coming back.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
I explained this, PB.
Right. Sorry, I forgot.
And you said it had been about 2 weeks, right? Which was the time period. So actually, shouldn't the Lancaster be showing up by about now?
Yeah.
Give or take, like the REM fleet
Give or
coming
take.
out of warp
Give or
speed.
take
and
a
just,
few
like,
days.
Like the fleet is basically saying, we should be close.
Faster than light travel is not an exact science.
Yeah, they basically say we should be close, but it's hard to tell. The systems say we're getting close. It should be like maybe another hour or so. Hour for them.
Hour for them, more like days for us.
Yeah.
I
So
know.
okay. So what would Lywell? You know what Lywell would do? She would look at the spot Jericho indicated, and then very probably step back and sidestep behind Vecna.
It's not going to do anything to you.
Jericho,
he didn't just
why
look
don't you
to
tell her
Jericho.
what you're planning?
Yes, please. I don't want the REM to be breaking onto my ship.
It's just a scan.
Why?
To avoid further incidents in future.
Oh, you mean like me getting kidnapped? And
Yes,
that then causing
basically.
then causing Eden to cascade.
Yes,
still not
my
pretty
proudest
much.
moment.
You know how that whole thing was your fault?
I know.
Mm-hmm.
Eden
feel
just
bad about that?
sighs, just like, that wasn't my proudest moment.
You feel bad about
It's
that?
very
Jericho?
simple. Don't shoot copious amounts of drugs in artillery shells, and that won't happen.
Jericho, do you feel bad yet?
I've been feeling bad since you got back.
Okay.
Actually, no, I've been feeling bad since you left.
Okay, good.
I lost my arm, for God's sakes.
Well,
Honestly,
you just
this
take
is
that
pretty much the relationship between Vecna and Lywell.
the image I
Oh, boy.
posted.
Is this not how it's been walking?
I mean,
yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
I literally just posted this because I saw this. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Giant blueberry.
See how the Emperor protects.
except those ammo
Pass me
packs are about
another
to
battle
supercharge
picture.
his weapon.
Yeah, pass me another, sister. Bang, bang, bang. Blam, blam.
And then he puts in the new
I've
one.
actually
Boom,
been playing
boom,
both
boom.
gun. Holy hell, is that game fun?
Yeah,
It's Doom, but 40K.
but 40K.
Of course, it's going
Which
to be
honestly,
fun.
Doom already was, really.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah,
I mean, the BFG is just a plasma gun.
No,
Yeah.
But it's the
Like, it
BFG.
literally is a plasma
the
gun.
big fucking gun.
but it's cooler because it's the BFG.
True.
I actually think there is a plasma gun in.
Yeah, there is.
Yeah, I just got to a part where I got it, and holy hell, was that part difficult because I didn't realize the plasma gun was there. I didn't realize the plasma gun was there because the fucking Servo Skull just went, hey, this is a murder area. I'm like, okay, just start killing. I didn't notice the fucking plasma gun because it was in the center of the room, and I was playing The Floor is Lava.
Lamau.
Oh my god. What the fuck is this game? Patrick, where did you find the crucible?
So
In
jeez.
that version, you need to get a jar. Patrick, that's a crucible.
Yes.
So the Lamb, find the crucible. Oh my gosh, it's an adjustable arc cutter.
Why is that so accurate,
That is
though?
100% accurate.
Oh.
Honestly, they actually probably do have that somewhere on their home world.
Probably.
They have a lot of weird shit on their home world. But Lyrel, do you agree to the scan?
No, Lyrel is putting more space between her as Orbeez in front of her making ominous beeping noises.
Lyrel, please don't self-destruct your pet robot.
Well, I just want a toxicology report so I know what is and isn't dangerous to you.
According
After all,
to
after all,
MLaw, I am legally not allowed to consent to this.
Oh, that's a problem then. Can you give me a toxicology report on your species so that way I know what is and isn't harmful to you? After all,
will
I know
have
what
to
is and isn't harmful
consult
to
my
humans.
higher ups on that.
I have to consult the queen.
Alright, please do that. This is literally for workplace safety.
Lyrel blinks. What?
Eden just looks at... Your people do have a concept of workplace safety, right?
OSHA?
Lyrel blinks again as she tilts her head the other way.
As much as I hate them, they are kind of necessary.
Okay, so basically, to give you an image, take the minions and reskin it with Necopala.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh, no.
Oh boy. They have no concept of not blowing themselves up.
God damn it.
I think it's because of the fact that the REM actually do heal very quickly.
So the Rem can heal from pretty much any injury. They always reproduce stem cells. They have highly advanced healing vents. Being cats, they negate fall damage. They have highly advanced anti-gravity tech built into their walk suits. They have very quick reflexes.
They just don't see the need for, well, any kind of workplace safety.
Jesus.
Eden just takes a very, very deep breath and says, "Here, we are not your kind. Even working with NHPs, there is work safety laws. Stuff to make sure that everyone is safe no matter what."
Lyrel, Jericho just wants to know what is and isn't dangerous to your people so that you don't accidentally get exposed to it.
Lyrel nods. Okay, if you put it in an artillery shell, it's dangerous.
Sugar?
If you
Sugar's
load
not
an artillery cell up with sugar, you're gonna get a really big explosion.
Not particularly.
Eden just sighs. If you can,
Now,
just
if you loaded
request-
it up with flour, you would. But
Eden just like looks at Lyrel, just like, "Can you ask your queen if it's okay if we get that report?
that would just be really helpful.
Just for your own safety while you're on board."
Lyrel types on her pad some, and after a few minutes, she's like, "Okay, so this is a record of my personal allergy list and a long list of materials that would probably kill me."
Eden takes the pad and just like downloads it. All right, I'll have that. I'll be sure to program this into the system.
It's an unexpectedly short list.
That's actually remarkably short.
Lyrel says, I think the way the hussy once put it is we're about as is we have the biological durability of a water bear.
Water
Jericho
barrel?
just looking over it. Wait a minute. So, like, according to this, you're basically not able to get drunk.
Oh no, I think you misunderstood it. You're supposed to read the numbers the other way around. The Rem are highly susceptible to alcohol.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Oh, I was holding it upside down. Oh.
No. See, it's the numbers on the left side that are the percentage amounts, not the right side.
Okay.
That's a very weird
Remind
system.
me that. Well, remind me that you're fucking easy pickings for a drinking contest.
Eden just sighs.
Jericho.
Well,
Don't
no
do
matter
that.
what, for everyone, there's still work to be done. Vector,
Yeah?
if I remember correctly, you said that you would get the giant knife out of my gut.
Yes, that.
And
Apologies.
also,
I should probably go do that. Come on, Haran.
All
right.
you do have a project to finish on planet.
Ah, right. That. I also have to go finish that. Come on, Haran. Let's go get the knife out of Eden's gut. I'll show you the gardens. You should like those.
Awesome. Yeah, I think I will.
Now, on the algae report, Jericho would see some interesting things, like it would note that while not allergic to peanut butter to pickles on a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, it is highly illegal, so it's considered as though one was allergic.
That is actually hilarious.
Also, some things like chocolate's delicious, but they don't have a very high tolerance for the toxins in chocolate. So it should be noted that if gained access, OM will overindulge in it.
Oh no.
So it's just like a little health warning: do not allow them to overdose on chocolate.
Sounds about right.
In fact, that's basically like there aren't really any allergies. It's just that there are things that they have very low tolerance for that normal humans wouldn't have any issue with.
Ah.
Ah, I see.
So basically, it's mostly a list of overdose warnings.
Yeah. Common human foods that are easy for them to overdose on.
Makes sense. And, catnip.
So after the next few days and weeks to follow are go by remarkably fast for everyone involved. After roughly a day, the sucker punch from God gets pulled out, and repair efforts get sent away basically get started right away.
Yeah.
As decks are patched up and slowly being replaced by workers and subalterns and nanomachines. And the terror and so also the terraformation of home begins as well. At least in full earnesty.
Woo!
As Vecna, if I remember correctly, there was something that you wanted to do in Courthold.
Yes. Yes. I need to get Vix's permission for this.
So after a few days, you head down to Courthold, and the place is actually fairly cheerful.
Ooh. I mean, yeah, we won the war.
Well, but also, you also see some obvious signs of Christmas decorations.
Oh. PB, one
Oh
issue.
no!
PB,
Yeah.
PB, one issue. The Ravagers are fucking glassed.
I know, but still.
There's no one left to do the Christmas truce with.
I know.
Oh.
So
I was planning to do the Christmas truce after you got back, but
And then I fucking
dove
glassed everyone.
into.
Yeah.
I was quickly wondering what is it in Catnip that makes Cap high, and I started down a rabbit hole, which has led me to a very frightening conclusion.
what?
The Rem are intolerant to anesthetics.
Oh God.
Oh no.
And most all common sedatives.
Oh.
Sir? Oh,
Oh, yeah, because it's a
If-
sedative that Yeah, that makes it.
If they have to have surgery, they've got to do it the old-fashioned way.
No, they just have to use very specifically engineered things, not the common ones.
So basically,
just
if
knock them out.
if they have to have a surgery done outside of their territory, it's
They're fucked.
yeah,
Yes, which is why the Rems stay on their fleets.
Yeah, it makes sense.
that makes even more sense. Okay.
Also, we're gonna have to send a message to the med bay.
Do not try to sedate the cat.
Bad idea. Bad idea.
Yeah,
Bad idea.
Basically, like as soon as like Eden realizes this, like, oh fuck, yeah,
Eden's
So-
like, we're gonna have to create some custom meds just for Lywell.
shouldn't be too hard.
I mean, I'm pretty sure every member of the team has their own unique med requirements, and that the med team just pulls their hair out every time they get an update.
Vector just gets hydraulic fluid pumped into his veins.
That does not sound safe at all.
Okay, and the organic part of him is essentially dead.
So Vector, you walk through the place, and it's everyone's celebrating for the fact that it's primarily that the war's over, but also that Christmas time has arrived.
Wait, so it's actually around Christmas time?
Yes,
Oh, I've been preparing this.
me and
Oh,
Vector
no.
actually had a thing prepared, but
Mine's gonna be really quick.
yeah, don't worry.
Lywell would start running around, putting up like very, very shiny, almost like RGB disco balls that sort of float in air but only cycle through Christmas colors.
Oh Christ!
And then she'd run up to Vector and be like, Happy North Star," as she gives him a garland of it. It's a plant, he thinks.
Lyrel, what is this?
It's a leaf. It's North Star.
What is North Star?
Well, you see, long ago, there was this man, and he grew up in a poor little village, and every time, whenever the winter seasons come, there would be this scary goat man who'd come along, and he'd try to kidnap all the children to make them work as unpaid labor in corporate mines. So, this man,
Okay, so
one
picking
day,
up the Germanness.
One
Adding
day,
it.
this man teamed up with a rabbit. This rabbit was called Esther. They set out to find the River Lady who gave them Excal, and using this, they managed to harness the power of the North Star, and they beat the Goat Man. So now, every year to celebrate this, he comes along and gives all the good little children star crystals.
Wow. Where I'm from, we have a similar sort of holiday. Though I believe I know where yours comes from as well.
Over the millennia, the various holidays kind of got butchered into one.
And it sounds like
Yeah.
a few different myths got thrown in.
Lyrel, would you like to know where humanity first got Christmas?
What's Christmas?
Jericho just butts in and gives them and just shares the tale of a nightmare before Christmas.
Jericho, don't interrupt me. Well, Christmas is an old cradle holiday that began long ago, before we'd even started space travel. It's ancient, and humanity's carried it with them for since we existed. Christmas is a holiday that happens towards the end of a year. Every year, for about a week, families will gather and celebrate, and at the end of that week, they will share gifts, usually after dinner or a nice nap. But Christmas itself is a holiday that's based around a man called Santa Claus, otherwise known as Saint Nicholas. Legend has it that long ago, before even Christmas, sometimes even before religion and history itself, there was a man in a village called Saint Nicholas, or just Nick. Every year, around wintertime, he went around and he noticed that all the children of his village were sad. They were sad because, well, their families were poor. They couldn't afford much of anything.
I will raise their
Dinners
hand.
were- Hmm? Yes.
Why didn't they just make stuff then?
Well, they couldn't, see? This was back before nanoforges or even basic factories. If you wanted to make something, it was either wood or metal, and it had to be made by hand.
When I was a
Or
little
leather.
girl, my father took me out to the woods and I made my first ever toy model starship by sharpening rocks and carving it from a fallen tree.
Yeah, pretty much like that. But that had to be done for everything. If you wanted to make a toy, it was made out of wood. There wasn't any fancy electronics in it. And it took about an hour for each one. But back during this day, St. Nicholas saw that all the children were sad. Their dinners were meager, and their days were joyless. And so
That's so
he set about
sad.
to fix this. Because St. Nicholas had a kind heart. And so, every Christmas, when that time came around next year, St. Nicholas filled up this big bag with toys that he had made, and he stuffed that bag onto a sleigh that he pulled around the village, and he went around to each household, and he handed out toys to all the little girls and boys to brighten their nights and to make their childhood a bit better. And from that, we gained Christmas. And every year, it's believed by children all around the galaxy that a man named Santa Claus comes, and if they've been good, he gives them toys, gifts, and, well, just things to make their life brighter.
I will
This
raise his hand
is
again.
shared by all of humanity. We've carried it with us for as long as we
But
went into the stars.
what
This-
about the food? They can't eat the toys, and you said their meals were meager.
Wow. As
Did-
time
did-
went on, to celebrate this, to celebrate kindness and togetherness and being family, eventually people started to gather food together. And then
What
you
is
started-
this?
What?
The meme you posted.
Oh yes, I just saw that.
Also, I'm not so sure these stats are accurate because Doomslayer would solo literally everything else on this page.
Yeah,
I just saw it and just like, ha, funny post.
it's like RimWorld.
It really does look like Rimworld.
I love Rimworld. I have over 2,000 hours in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot.
Well,
I am now professionally bad at it.
Rude.
well, later on, Christmas became more about celebrating the birth of a religious figure. It's not exactly practiced much anymore, but some people still do. But the practices carried on, gift giving and such. But as a result of this, the holiday gained a feasting tradition where families would have a nice meal to celebrate the birth of this figure. And even after it was sort of faded out, people still held up this tradition because it's nice, you know? And so, as time went on, Christmas became less about Saint Nicholas or old religious figures and more about people. It became about a time to spend with one's family, to enjoy yourself, enjoy the holidays, and be thankful for everything, really. Spreading cheer and joy, and giving gifts where you can.
I will not.
The
That
Rem,
name sounds familiar. Santa Claus, Santa Claus. Orby, do an archive search on Santa Claus.
Beep.
Well, we
Santa
would-
Claus, Orby, not Santa.
Orby bleeps and bloops, and after a couple minutes up, it views a hologram display of sort of many worn old paper documents and even a few stone carvings, and it says Santa Claus. Believed origin, Odin's son. Believed origin, unknown. Believed origin, Norse. Believed origin, unknown.
That
And it shows basically a holographic image of a man lighting an 8-legged sauce, and there's a family tree that connects the horse as the nephew of the man riding it, and then the years go by really fast
Yeah.
as the horse loses legs, grows antlers, and Odin's son, instead of becoming ripped, becomes fat. And Lyra was like, "Old ancient people were weird."
yes, ancient people were very weird. But
And
there is another type of Santa Claus. Vecna now pulls up some holograms depicting both our modern version of Santa Claus, big old jolly Saint Nick, and a depiction of Saint Nicholas.
I'd
Saint
like to point
Nicholas.
out, as you guys are doing this, there's just legitimately like a bunch of like HUS people and people don't just gathered around.
Saint Nicholas is a giant man, standing around 6'8", wearing Christmas robes, a wreath of holly around his head, carrying a big burlap sack over his shoulder, and with a large, gnarled staff in his other hand. And on his hip, he has both an axe and a sword.
Colby then
Vecna
blinks Saint
gestures
Nicholas
between-
and makes a
Yes.
life-sized holographic projection of this.
Pretty much, yeah. That is believed to be Saint Nicholas, the real-life Santa Claus. Less jolly old fat man, and more of a real-life warrior.
And then
he looks totally different from how I remember, which was this.
That is Santa Claus.
and then Lila says, "Oh, I know that. That's a Nuka-Cola bottle."
Yeah.
Jericho just wanders by like, bah, humbug.
Jericho, come here.
We
No,
actually
listen,
we have some old relics of the Nuka-Cola bottles.
Do you mean Coca-Cola?
No. Orby shows a holographic of the Fallout 4 Nuka-Cola bottle. We have some of these in a museum.
Oh. Lyrel, you know those are from a fictional universe, yes?
But they're real.
Well, yes, but they are based on a fictional universe.
Myrel.exe not responding.
Orby, play the history behind the origin of the Nuka-Cola as Orby launches into the opening sequence of Fallout 4. War. Never changes.
War never changes.
It was a tragedy of ancient races. So many people died.
Yes.
that was a video game.
Lyrel.
But it's the origin for miniature reactor models.
Fusion reactors.
Oh
Very good.
boy.
But it's still a video game.
No, it's real. I learned all about it in school.
Lyrel. It's a video game.
Poor
It doesn't
Lyrel.
make it any less real. It just means it didn't happen in our world.
Orby, show the Hall of Relics. Orby zooms out and sort of rolls as though charging up, and then projects a massive hologram over the inside of this room. And
Oh, you guys are like out in like public.
I thought we were still inside Heaven's Gate.
No,
No,
you guys
we're
are like
down
you're like in Courthold.
Okay, well they'll find a large cave or some enclosed space to project this. Oh wait, the amphitheater.
Yeah.
Lyra said, "Follow me," as she leads them to the amphitheater and basically asking the band to pause for a moment so that she can display
Oh, the
this.
band
It
isn't
displays
playing today.
Okay. It displays a large hall of relics. Now Vecna would, and I'm assuming the rest of the party would immediately recognize what this is. This is almost like a sort of cultural museum.
Mm.
Like there's a Mario icon over in the corner and stuff like that.
Ah, yes.
This is the museum.
Merchandise.
This is the museum of the past.
Mm-hmm.
No, well, yes, but no.
The ancient forefathers built it to remember the times of the past, the origins of humanity.
Mm.
No, they made it to remember video games of the past.
All right, let's see.
Like there's a functional T1 power armor set.
That's very impressive, but it was most likely made for cosplaying.
Jericho's
what?
just like, yeah, like, I mean, I've got power armor. Pulls up a suit of Terminator power armor from 40K. It's a costume.
It's cosplaying is a form of dressing up as fictional characters as a way to essentially show off one's enjoyment of a fictional universe.
But no, it's real. It even has a zoo. Orby, go to the Hollow Zoo. As they zoom through, now there are many chunks that are censored out, like with little sensors that says not for non-WAM personnel viewing. But it eventually gets to a zoo. You have stuff like Sonic the Hedgehog and Pink Panther.
Lyrel, these are fictional creatures.
No, they're real.
The Pink Panther was the star of an animated cartoon. Sonic the Hedgehog is from a video game.
No, that's what
Jericho's
a
just gonna-
porcupine looks like.
Jericho
Oh.
just points at one.
No.
Look, they've even got Inspector Gadget in there.
He was a famous detective and a
Inspector
frontier
Gadget.
in bioorganic engineering.
Inspector Gadget was a cartoon. Vector just pulls up the fucking Wikipedia article on Inspector Gadget TV show. Disambiguation.
Well, it makes sense that they would make a TV show about him. He was really important. Jericho can see that Lyrel is starting to become overwhelmed with this.
Lyrel.
Jericho's just gonna come in, pat them both on the back, and go, alright. Clearly the cats don't exactly understand fact from fiction or the cultural significance that fiction has.
Yeah.
No,
It's
they understand
real
fact
enough-
and fiction. It's just that
It's
over the
real
millennia,
enough to
everything the
them-
records got so corrupted that they believed this to be actual historical stuff, not just meme culture.
Mm.
It's real enough to them, let's leave it at that.
Alright. They're gonna have a rude awakening when they get reconnected with Union database, though.
Yes, they are, but let's let them live in ignorance for now. Blissful
Alright.
ignorance.
Well, I'm
Meanwhile, I, however, do not live in ignorance, as I remember the Dark Ages of Christmas, where the holiday got taken over by literal corporations in order to sell people more product, and how that was just a terrible time for all.
Yes. That was a very terrible time. But, even during that, there are good moments.
Lyrel pulls up an image of the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie. See, look, live footage.
We're gonna have to tell you what computer-generated imaging is at some point.
Lyrel.
We even have one of those. She points to the hair that's shooting the electricity.
Jericho's just gonna pull up footage of him battling Tyranids, and how the Tyranids look very, very, very plastic and fake and not real.
Lyrel, there is such a thing as computer-generated imaging.
I know that, but this is...
It's an old tactic used during the early ages of humanity to make fictional movies.
But the hair's real. We have one. It can shut out an entire planet.
Yes, because someone made one.
But
Okay, Lyrel. something being fiction doesn't make it any less important. And it doesn't make it any less real. There's nothing wrong with something not having existed so long as you still enjoy it. So long as it's still important to you, then it exists in the only way it needs to.
No, it's real. The creators wouldn't lie.
Lyra.
I think it's not a matter of lying. I just think that you may have misinterpreted.
Nobody lied.
Orbi, show creator document alpha. And then Orbi makes a big red cancel alarm, and Lywell's like, Orbi, override, show! He makes another cancel alarm. So Lywell grabs Orbi and takes out like her Omni fork and start messing with some components as there's very panicked bleaching and screeching and blares.
Lyrel, stop that, you're hurting the poor thing.
And then a sort of grainy holograph shows of humans, not them, but actual humans, and they are talking about the past and various things like that. You can't really get any clear meaning of what they're talking about, other than it's clearing they're referencing these items and talking about, the past of humanity and moving forward.
Yeah, I don't think there's enough here
Lyrel,
to take a
there's
clear
not enough-
interpretation.
Yeah. The file's too degraded to make any clear interpretation.
However, you would see over in the corner, you would see the loading menu for Necropara and a Biovat next to it, but the figure in the Biovat's a little too grainy to make out.
Oh boy, they really did it. Genetically engineer cat girls. We are literally in that timeline.
I mean, I figured we kind of already knew that.
I mean, yes, but the confirmation that we have robot mommies and genetically engineered cat girls, obviously we are in the best timeline.
And it's at that moment that Orbi gives a very loud red blare as he just kind of blinks off. And Lywell looks at him confused.
Meow.
Orbi? Orbi? Orbi?
I don't think he wanted to share that.
Oh dear. Well, that's not good.
Or Lywell struggles to pick up the dome that's like bigger than her torso.
Lyrel, do you want some help with that?
No, I just need to take this back to the ship.
Lyrel. It's okay. Do you want me to help you fix Orbi?
Lywell just kind of sits down.
Hey, come on, it's alright. It's not broken. Not irreparably.
I think I tripped a security gate.
Oh, okay. You can just fix it.
Lywell just kind of sniffles.
Oh, right there. Vecna just pulls her in for a hug.
I mean, as
It's alright.
Vecna does that, Jericho just like reaches for Orbi. It's like, all right, you console the cat. I'll fix the ball.
Lywell hisses at Jericho.
Don't
Like
worry.
actually fangs out hisses.
Yeah, probably not.
Don't worry, cat. I won't break
Probably
it.
not a good idea to try and take that from her.
She like
Wow.
four-leg hugs it. All four limbs.
All right, all right.
Lyrel, do you want me to help you fix Orbi?
It's against protocol to allow outsiders access to WEM personnel storage technology.
I'll keep my eyes closed.
I'm gonna need a fabrication bench.
Okay, we can go back to the ship.
Lyrel nods.
Alright.
I feel very bad for Lyrel now. Like,
She's going through a bit of an existential crisis.
Come on, honey. Let's go. It's gonna be alright. Nothing's broken forever, I promise. We'll fix Orby up bright as rain, then you can go back to it. Then we can get back to this, alright? Come on. Vecna just picks her up like a child.
I mean,
Off.
it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
Combined with her hover pack and arm, she only weighs a total of 70 pounds.
Scoop the small child. I mean, 70 pounds is still quite a bit. I only weigh like 50 pounds extra.
Jericho, I'm talking about the Vecna character. You know, he's like 7 feet tall, and
This is true.
I'm pretty sure Vecna held up the box holding the mechanical bodies of the Faust.
Yes, he did.
when they fell on him.
Yes. They did do that, didn't they?
So
I
yes,
mean, even then, like Jericho could one hand 70 pounds.
Yeah, that's true.
Both of you are strong.
Yeah.
So after a while, Lyrel would manage to fabricate some parts, and Vecna can see that whatever the security program is literally melted a lot of circuitry when it was tripped.
Oh, good lord. That's
As she digs through a room and pulls out some chips, and then's like, I'm gonna need to get the backup files from an on-ship database.
Want me to get those?
No, it's only on REM personnel ships.
Alright. Want me to
However,
fix
my
Orby then?
fleet is currently at
Quarantined.
It's okay. My Lancaster will be here soon, and it has an onboard backup.
That's true. Should be here in
Let
recently, right?
now.
Yeah, I imagine Heaven's Gate centers suddenly all flare up as like several hundred ships drop cloak at once.
We
Damn it! Just overcoms.
God damn it!
Where did
There's
this cat keep
700
coming from?
Lyrel looks up. Oh, my replacement fleet is here.
Replacement fleet.
Yeah, it was the REM Council discussed the quarantine issue and weren't sure how to handle it, so it was decided we'd just push the whole fleet into the Thresher.
You're kidding, right?
That's a bad idea.
Well, you said it was quarantined and it could be corrupted, so yeah, we just decided to write off the fleet, and this is
Lyrel, your fleet has NHPs.
Huh?
Your fleet's computers. They have NHPs in them.
Huh?
You were exposed to Ra. Exposure to Ra generates NHPs as a side effect in machinery.
You told us it was dangerous and to not connect anything because it could destroy everything.
Yes,
Yes.
because that would release uncontrollable NHPs into
You
your
didn't
network.
say that.
Because I didn't think you were going to throw the entire thing into a meat grinder.
What we do?
Not throw them into a thresher for one.
Lyrel now looks devastated on top of her existential crisis.
This poor cat.
Yeah, but no, this was
So
this was
bad.
already discussed by like me and PB last week. We decided that yeah, the REM would just scrap the fleet because they wouldn't know how to deal with it because they didn't have a protocol for this. And to the REM, scrapping hundreds of ships isn't a great economic loss. Well, it is a great economic loss, but they consider the potential security threat bigger. So the next fleet that was supposed to be rolled out just got delayed so that it could instead be a replacement fleet for IL.
So,
Yeah.
have they already been put into the Thresher, or what?
That
Because the
was
Thresher's
weeks
gonna
ago.
suddenly just cascade.
Oh boy.
I kind of
Now we have a cascading Thresher.
Oh god.
No. See,
That
the
Thresher's filled with cascade events.
not quite.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a giant. Basically, imagine a wormhole leading to a black hole, but one end of it has giant plasma arcs containing like a miniature sun to vaporize whatever gets put into it, and the
If
other
you've
end has
ever-
an extractor so they can get the raw resources back out.
If you've ever read what happened to Site 19,
Yeah,
it's that. That's the Thresher.
great. Well,
The raw resources have already been reintegrated into the resource deposits.
you're probably gonna want to shut that thing down because it's full of NHPs now.
It doesn't. There is no shutting it down. Once we stabilize the wormholes, that's kind of it.
Huh.
Well, that section of reality is gonna be fucked.
Yeah. That entire section of reality is kind of just fucked. You're probably gonna have to go over everything that comes out of it with a fine-tooth comb, figuratively speaking.
But don't worry, that's already standard procedure. Sometimes
Yeah.
when you put things through a thresher wormhole and then process it through the outer rim of a black hole, sometimes these weird, almost like plasmic imprints show up, but they're not really there. It's weird. We think it must be some sort of extra dimensional signature from that time we tried to phase out into a different portion of the dimension, but it didn't work. Like I was telling you back when we went and saw the underground of Corehold.
Yeah.
There was that sparkly line, and you thought it was a ghost, and I was like, no, it's kind of like those. It happens on occasion.
Huh.
Vecna realizing that the past and future are merging.
And it's the REM that are kind of responsible for it.
Right. You might be getting a lot more weird things attached to whatever comes out of that.
Oh, it's okay. We found a process that manages to remove those. I don't actually know how it works. I don't have authorization to view that information.
Yeah, no, I mean, like... Christ. I mean, like, weird physical things.
Oh no, we found out how to figure out that. You just
Like-
gotta put it through a. You just have to put it through a whole lot of matter reformatters.
Are you prepared to reformat a fish into your raw materials?
Why would steel ship slag come out as a fish?
Because there's
Exactly.
an NHP inside your extraction device, and it is currently turning all of your raw materials into a fish.
By
It's just a
types
whole.
on her control panel and gets a feet and asks, so could I get a feedback on the current status of the extractor from the thresher?
It's a whole ton of hyper-realistic rubber duckies that keep chanting, "One of us." One
Well,
of
actually,
us."
no, it
Wow.
says
Okay,
So as you put in that request, it takes a few minutes before there's a report that comes back saying that the Thresher has shut down.
that isn't physically possible. It's the containment of the wormhole itself that operates it. You can't.
We don't know. The wormhole is
The
still
Thresher
stable.
has shut down!
The wormhole is still stable, but the Thresher's turned off. We don't know
That-
what's going on.
That defies the laws of physics.
Nothing is coming out of it. The Thresher is just off.
NHPs defy the laws of physics.
But
This is
how
not
can
new.
nothing be coming out of it? It's phases through the outer wing of a black hole. If nothing else, it
Lyra.
should be sending out tons of Hawking radiation continuously.
Lyra.
Nothing.
Lyra.
Just the cat boy in charge of it is just like panicking.
Lyra. You know
Yeah.
how Eden kind of, fucked up the entireness of reality inside of her ship when she cascaded? You currently have a bunch of NHPs doing that inside of your Thresher. But all in their own unique and different flavors.
Can you patch me through to Thresher Team Command?
Yeah.
Probably.
It patches through and it's there's lots of panicking cat noises.
So I'll start yelling back in equal cat nonsense.
Oh boy.
After around like 20
No, one sec,
minutes
BB.
of back and forth.
1 second.
Are you typing something out to me? Okay.
Ah, jeez.
So after after like half an hour of just everyone just watching just back and forth cat nonsense, eventually Lyrel hangs up and is just like hyperventilating.
Lyrel.
It's okay. I trained to hold 5 continuous conversations at the academy.
Please take a breath. Calm down.
Orbeez though supposed to handle the interfacing of it.
Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Flipping through so many channels.
Okay. Why don't we go down to get your Lancaster, and you can explain what the fuck just happened. Alright?
1 second. She sends a pre-written up information disclosure request to the Queen.
Oh boy.
Alright.
Erica just pulls up. So I think we might have to give this a try. He just pulls up the designs for this absolutely arcane thing.
Jericho, what the fuck is that?
I am calling it the Cascade Scrubber.
You what?
It's an idea I had to help try and prevent reality, to help try and stabilize reality around an NHP cascade, thus preventing them from, destabilizing reality when they go berserk, thus making it easier to contain. Now, please keep in mind that this is in no way ready for actual use, as this is literally just like a rough first draft, maybe second draft.
Well,
So-
too bad. Start making them.
Exactly. There's like a 10% chance or less of this working, but I figured, well, this seems like a good time at any, and who knows?
Knowing the way this fucking timeline's going, we're probably gonna be the ones having to go in there and fix it.
I mean, basically.
Anyways,
so Lyrel, you did get permission to at least disclose the information.
Okay, so we've made progress on negotiations.
Mm-hmm. Negotiations with what?
The people in the threshold.
Mm-hmm. How's that going?
They accepted the bodies, but they haven't agreed to terms of employment.
Excuse me?
What?
Well, it's horrible. We put people in the thresher. We need to get them out somehow, but there's nothing we can really grab to pull, and we can't really put anything to it to pull, though it's off right now. But so we are deploying some bodies that should be able to withstand the gravitational forces of the outer rim of the black hole temporarily, and they've accepted them, but currently they haven't agreed to terms of employment to operate the thresher. They want some things, but we don't know what they are. Like they told us, we literally just don't know what they are.
Okay, what do they want?
Lywell hands a data pad to Vecna that just contains it. To a mortal mind, it would look like nonsense, but Vecna could understand this is
Mm-hmm.
some.
Cat nonsense.
NHP nonsense, I think.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. Yeah. One small issue. You're dealing with unshackled cascading NHPs. Anything they request is kind of moot because it's like trying to talk to a schizophrenic person going through time dilation in 7 different directions.
But I managed to talk to you.
I'm not cascading, Lyrel.
You talked to Eden.
Eden has gone through shackling. These NHPs haven't been shackled. They are as inhuman can be.
Imagine, as such, the raw language of Ra.
The moon?
No, the entity that exists around the moon.
Oh.
That's Ra. Imagine that, but it's going backwards, forwards, up, left, right, down, and sideways in time.
So
You know,
you're
I think I've
saying
got a
we
better
could
idea.
use the frequency scans we got from moon to filter it?
No. He just hands her a copy of H.P. Lovecraft. Read this, then try talking to God.
Lywell starts reading the book, then closes the book. I don't know why you have a copy of the forbidden illegal text, but this is very illegal and forbidden.
Jericho, what the
Wait.
fuck is this?
What the shit? Why is Lovecraft forbidden?
Because once you know, and they can get in, and you look into the abyss.
And
That
the
book
abyss-
was written by some people. It's not a
That book was
cognito
written
hazard.
by a That book was written by a crazy racist British man.
He
Yes,
wasn't
yes, it was.
British. He
New
was
The point is that you're meant to not know the unknowable.
Lyrel, he had a constitution too weak for math. I don't think
Lywell
anything he
looks
says
confused.
can be taken
How
with
does
really...
that work?
Exactly.
he was a total wimp. He was a wimp amongst wimps, and one who
And
was
he was
also
also
a paranoid
crazy.
wimp.
He thought air conditioning was a way to keep people immortal.
Lywell looks even more confused as she's trying to grasp the concept. So, a coolant and compressor system could stop biological degradation?
No, he thought it could.
Why would you think that?
Because he was
Because
insane.
he was a dumbass.
Lyrel, he was an idiot. He thought non-Euclidean meant fucking... I don't know.
Non-Euclidean just means more dimension of space. More than one flat dimension.
Yes, I know.
Exactly.
He didn't know any of the words he actually used.
Lywell looks at the book and looks up again. So it's not evil tomes
No.
of forbidden knowledge?
They are not evil tomes
No,
of forbidden
it's
knowledge. They're just very
it's knowledge, but it's
interestingly written
fiction.
horror. They're just very interestingly written fictional horror stories.
very
Is my
popular.
people's
fiction.
whole history a lie?
No, I just think you've been
No,
overly
just
influenced by
interpret
pop culture.
Yeah, you've just been overly influenced by pop culture and misinterpreted a lot of things. Not a lie so much as a just
Miscommunication.
interpretation. Miscommunication, yeah. Trust me, there are worlds that have it way worse than you. God, the
I mean, there's the best example that came to mind when you said that was the backstory of Nekona.
Kona.
Oh yeah, the space
Excuse
marine,
me?
the space marine cat girl.
Ah, yes.
Basically, her whole backstory is she landed on the planet of what was it called, PB?
I forget, but basically it was basically an anime world. They literally took.
It was a world where they had a complete history of all anime produced, but they thought they were religious texts and lived by them vehemently.
Oh my god.
and
Wait.
I was just going to bring up a planet that believes they are the literal embodiment of Arthurian legend.
I mean, there's a Hunger Games planet.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no!
Union's been working real hard to fix that one.
I hope so.
And then there's, all of the everything with the Karakan trade baronies.
Oh god, the car.
We gotta go there sometime. That's gonna be fun.
Oh god.
Don't get me started on the Karakan.
So, Lywell stops and thinks. So we can't negotiate?
No.
But they accepted the bodies.
Yes.
You basically just gave those away for free.
Yeah, you pretty much just gave those away for free.
No, it was very clear. She pulls out a message that looks like one of those copy pasta threat magazine letters. Except it's all shimmering technobabble, and it explains that you shall be spared in exchange. This is what we got when we gave them the bodies.
That just means they're gonna leave. That just means they're not gonna eat you when they get out of the thresher.
Well, that's a good start.
Technically.
Technically, yes, but that doesn't mean they're not going to eat everything else around you and your ships and your stations. It just means
No.
they'll eat.
That's concluded. That's included in the agreement. Lywell
Huh.
starts zooming in a lot on the letters, and you can see each letter is like its own 20-page legal document.
Uh-huh. You see,
Although, we are running out of lawyers, because whenever we try to... The only way we found to talk to them is to use the Neuralink tech,
yeah.
and
That'll do it.
our top legal experts can only seem to withstand about 20 minutes of it.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's still impressive.
Yeah, that's
That's
actually pretty generous.
yeah, that's real generous.
It has to be filtered through 18 orbital stations first.
I mean, yeah, that sounds about right. I could only stand about 5
And then Lywell gets an update. Oh, okay.
hours.
Slight issue.
5 hours.
8
5
orbital
hours.
stations popcorned.
Yeah. You
They
need to-
still function though, and we don't know why.
Yeah, that'll be NHP. That'll be NHP bullshit. Okay, listen, Lyrel. Here's what you need to do. You need to stop all communications with them, close down the thresher on both ends, and wait for us to get there before turning it back on again.
Okay. Small problem.
I'll get to work on a remote shackling device.
They agreed to an intermediary period, so the threshold is operational again.
Turn off the thresher.
We can't. Once the black hole stabilizes, it's on. We can't turn it off.
Close both ends.
We can't do that either.
What do you mean you can't do that?
It was a self-stabilizing event. It's kind of like if you punch a hole through a steel wall, you can't just pull the wall closed again.
But you can put something over it.
I mean, if we had something like that,
What would that something be?
well, theoretically, you'd need something to interfere with the wavelength and then pull the two ends together, but then you'd need to somehow stabilize them, and
Hmm. Something like a blink gate?
yeah, actually, something like that.
Right, we're gonna have to go find that fucking thresher then.
It's
Vector is not looking forward to making this report, isn't he?
No, he's not.
Eden is not going to look forward to this.
No, she's not.
She needs a vacation. This entire
So-
party needs a vacation.
Yeah.
what's this you mentioned about shackling?
Shackling is the process of essentially strapping so much code to an NHP that it's slowed down to the point where where it thinks like a person. Normally, NHPs think in a non-linear time frame.
Ooh. Lywell starts typing something and hits send.
Shackling makes it so they perceive time the same way people do, and they don't
Uh-huh.
exert themselves upon reality by
Uh-huh.
breaking reality.
Uh-huh.
Case in point, what we just did to Eden.
Yeah, that's shackling.
Could I get some data on that?
No.
Lywell touches her helmet. He calls Eden.
Eden's just like, what's going on?
Tyrell, we're
so
not
there's
getting
a
information on
lot
how
of
to
people
shackle
whose
your own.
lives are potentially at risk, according to Vecnor. Could I get some data on how that shackling process works?
There is a very silent moment before a very, very long and deep breath, followed by as there's a call from Eden to Vector.
Yeah.
What the fuck did the cats do this time?
They stuck a bunch of NHPs in their recycler.
Didn't we tell them to quarantine the vessels until we could get to them?
No,
Yeah, but
technically
they
you said quarantine them and don't hook them up to the system.
And we also said until we can get to them.
Did you? I honestly don't remember that
Yes,
part.
we did.
Yes,
Okay.
they did.
That
Did
was
you
my
forget
bad.
That? And that informed the entire process that has happened since.
So Eden is just just.
I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna take your silence as a yes. Yeah, they kind of seem to have forgotten that, and they decided to write off the entire fleet as a lost cause and shoved the ships into the Thresher. And now there are a bunch of NHPs running rampant around a black hole. And sun.
Just Eden just takes.
Oh,
very,
and
very deep
they
breath.
the cats gave the NHPs bodies. As a thank you, the NHPs have sworn to spare the lives of the cats and their infrastructure. No word about anyone else, though.
All
That's
prime.
not concerning.
Eden just deep breath. All prime heaven's gate for dimensional
Yeah, we're
fuckery.
gonna have to deal with that fast.
Yes. I'll prime Heaven's Gate for dimensional fuckery warfare.
Yeah.
I'll need to file some more forms, but okay, so
Lyrel, we're gonna need the location of that thresher.
Yep, I am requesting information disclosures now.
Hmm.
Eden is just on the comms. Lyrel, this is talking about the fate of not only the HUS, but most of humanity.
Well, most of humanity in this sector.
In this sector, at least.
Once the
You
NHPs
have-
get to Union space, they could be rather easily dealt with simply because Union's good at NHP warfare, but still, we don't want to let it get that far.
So, we want to make sure that this is handled as soon as possible. I do not care about the legal morass of your people. This needs to be handled immediately before it gets out of control.
Yeah.
I am not wanting to deal with any of your people's legal morass at this moment. You understand that, correct?
Lywell seems to almost be trembling as she stands up and says, we require the proper approvals to give that information.
Wait, hold on. Eden, I can do this.
Oh,
Here,
boy.
come here, Lyrel.
Go get him, honey.
I know that you have to understand that there's lots of legal procedures and stuff, but thankfully we have something for that. Here, take this permit that I have, and if any of your bosses or people ask what's going on, give them that, okay?
Lyrel?
It's a little piece of paper that says, I do what I want.
It says fuck you, I do what I want, and then with a little like :3 heart sign. And it's also signed.
There's just a few moments as Eden is just waiting for the response.
Meanwhile, Jericho is rather furiously uploading stuff to his database. Eden has clear access to this data, and it's just like designs for tweaks and theorems for the the cascade thing, and also for like remote shackling devices.
Jesus.
Effectively, Jericho is very much working overtime on doing what he
This
can
is meant to just
come up
finish
with
up this world,
solutions.
dear God.
Oh, so much for that. We're getting sidetracked. We've got to go deal with fucking NHPs because the cats don't know how to follow orders.
I
Side
discussed
quest.
what the REM would do with PB after the session, and he agreed that is most likely what they would do, and he didn't mention this!
I did, though. Or I might not have. I don't remember. Typically, whenever we talk about this stuff, it's before I go to bed, and I'm very tired.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Anyways, yeah. Cats didn't follow orders, so now we've got to go into their fucking fuckery cutting up recycling machine and go deal with that.
Yeah. So, this is just meant to be a
Anyways.
thing to help finish out this world.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be the world's pretty much finished, so isn't this
Yeah, the
goodbye
world's
to the
pretty
world?
much
onto-
finished. We might as well just fucking head off to the Thresher now.
Yeah. I'll get things planned.
Wait,
PB?
shit.
Sorry. My boyfriend invited me to something. I'm being attacked by a weird fire monster.
Oh no!
I'm
Oh.
playing modded Minecraft. And I don't know what's going on.
Ah. Anyways,
Hello?
yes. But, like, before we actually finish up, I have a few things I need to do. Like, go ask Vix for a sample of the tree.
Okay. So back onto
And-
what I originally
Go
planned.
finish the terraforming project.
Lywell is navigating food bureaucracy while Vecno does that.
Yep.
So so you head into the main building with Vix, where Vix is currently in the middle of basically just finishing up some work and looks over to see you and just waves over, and in your head you just hear, "Ah, Vector, it's good to see you."
Hello, Vix. Good to see you too.
Yeah.
What's with the non-touch based telepathic power?
My abilities are developing apparently, at least according to the
Good
first.
shit. Good shit. Good shit. Listen, I have a question.
Yes.
Can I get a sample of the tree?
May I ask why?
Well, you know that big tower I'm building up at the northern pole?
Yes.
Yeah, that's a terraforming project. You'll have noticed the increased magnetosphere and atmosphere generating as a result of that, and the growth of grass and moss on the rest of the planet.
Yes, I have noticed that.
That's kind of a side effect of that. I've been seeding it with life from Earth, or, well, life samples from Cradle, and I've been, doing that as a way to sort of prime the planet, but I need a sample of plant life and plant matter from the planet before I can do that, and I forgot to grab some when we traveled,
Hmm.
and I don't want to go through the portal again because I don't know where it'll spit me out.
I understand. So you wish to have a sample of the tree?
Yes. Also, maybe if there are like more trees, then like the first one won't need so much help.
I can understand your logic.
Yeah.
So,
But also from that, I can sequence out more plant life that'll be native to this world.
she nods, as she will say, "One moment, I have to do this properly."
Yeah, okay.
What, you can't just scrape a little bit off with a swab?
She will pop. She will climb herself up. She'll basically kind of like climb up onto the table that surrounds the tree. Move onto the patch of earth that is there, and will very carefully take a branch and carefully cut a very small branch. And as she cuts it and hands it to Vector, it blooms
Oh,
into nice red flowers.
that's new. Is it supposed to do that?
It is said that that happens during the New Year's.
Oh, cool. Well, thanks, Vex. I'm gonna go stick this in the tower now.
Alright.
See you in a
And
bit.
I feel like that is a good point to leave off because my brain is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair.
Also, Vector's gonna give one of those flowers to Huron because it's pretty.
Aw.
And he is a idiot.
Haran will
Sorry,
take it very
I-
graciously and give him a cheap kiss.
I
in
did not
return.
mean to sidetrack the campaign.
No,
No.
this is fine. This is good shit.
Yeah, it's good shit. It's just gonna take me a bit.
Yeah.
I don't mind that you do this stuff. This actually leads into fun, interesting stuff, but holy
Yeah.
hell, how the cat girls have kept going is
How the cat girls have kept going is purely through the grace of God.
and literally it's just like I'm just imagining Gra just like looking out just randomly and going like, I wonder what the cat girls are doing this time. Just so
Oh,
good
when
God
I-
fucking damn it.
When I was telling my brother about the campaign, his reply was, yes, so God will regularly just absorb the cat girls intervening. However, he sneezes and suddenly the flesh is going berserk. Just closes his eyes for a
Ash check.
second as he sneezes, and then when he looks back, everything's gone fooey.
He's just like,
Ah,
what the fuck did they do this time?
What the fuck did they do this time?
I thought I solved that problem.
Yeah.
Just Raw, just like, I thought I figured out that bug.
Lamau.
Yeah, I know my internet just kind of.
Figured.
No, you're
Yeah.
fine. You're
Mhm.
fine.
My internet didn't go out. It was really just Discord today.
Yeah.
Yeah, Discord just likes to do that.
Discord's fucky.
Yeah.
As PB likes to say, fucky wucky.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fucky.
So, yeah, that will be it for today. I hope y'all have
Yeah.
had a very fun time.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes,
There was
I got
more
to
I
explore.
wanted to do, but
Got to
fuck it.
explore.
This was cool.
Yeah, I got to explore more of the Lem backstory.
Yeah.
Basically, the Lem are in fact one of those planets where they have lots of data records, but they're all corrupted, so they assume them to be true.
Lamau.
It's literally just Galaxy Quest.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Very fun. Very fun.
Alright. So, I'm gonna go hang out with my boyfriend for a little bit. Then I'm probably gonna go
All
take
right.
a nap.
See ya, poopy.
I'm
I'm-
going to
yeah.
be crafting more gear in Final Fantasy XIV.
I'm going to go run chores and also go to grocery shopping because I still have to do that stuff.
Responsibility? That's lame.